সেই মারাত্মক যুদ্ধ ফেরত আসছে তোমার ক্যাম্পাসে। নতুন যোদ্ধাদের সাথে আরো লড়াই এবং আরো উত্তেজনার সাথে বিশাল পুরস্কার মূল্য 30,000 USD। প্যাক করো তোমার গেমিং ব্যাগ, প্রস্তুত করো তোমার বন্ধুদের।
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Bangladesh Campus Championship 2021, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. My name is Warren John, joined by Fixes right next to me. And well, as we promised today, we are going to be witnessing some action from the teams of Group C in the quarterfinals round of this tournament. And once again, only the top 8 teams from the group will be moving forward to the semifinals.
Yep, and we already have witnessed, two groups yesterday, and we did see how they were playing. So I'm really excited to see what the groups, in fact, the teams playing today have to offer, considering it's their last 5 games.
Yeah, it's not just you. Even I'm going to be really interested to see as to how these lads are going to be performing. But if we sort of draw from our previous experiences from these groups, Group A and B were the aggressive ones, while C and D did like to take their own times with every single map that they played. So I'm not going to expect too much aggression from these teams like we witnessed sort of in the matches yesterday, where everyone was going berserk. I mean, we had drop locations being clashed from the very start of the game, and people just like going for those insane fights. That is not going to happen today. Today it's going to be a little bit more tactical. The matches are going to be a little bit slower. And well, that sort of brings us to an interesting situation when you are playing those slow games there, because like the matches keep getting extended. The mental pressure continues to build on the players even while they're in game. Like, what is going to happen? We are going to go here, but is someone going to be there gatekeeping us? Things like that. And if majority of the teams do survive to the late game stages, like 6th circle onwards, then the endings of all these matches will be really chaotic.
Yeah, it will be, of course, and it kind of gets interesting with every single game towards the very last. We've been witnessing that also. So yesterday we did see that domination coming in from AGxT9 one of the teams that were not invited but played through the qualifiers and performed so well. Making a statement yesterday, getting 3 chicken dinners out of the 5 games. And if we take a look at the prize pool that we have, $30,000. Now, for the first position, it's going to be 10,000. So quite a huge chunk. I mean, even in the PMPL, we had something around that during the league stages. So yeah, I'm kind of really liking the way this prize pool is, and how these tournaments are happening in this region. And it's so good to see tournaments happening back and forth every single time. So yeah, like we mentioned, now it's the PMCC. After this, we have few more tournaments lined up. So constant constant scouting of talents is being done over here. Constant growth is also there. It's growing rapidly, we must say. So yeah, I kind of like the way things are going right now.
Yeah, and yesterday you sort of pointed out that towards your left in the distance you could see PMCOs coming up as well. Yeah. So I guess we are going to be waiting for that entire situation, that entire vibe to be with us again. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, the point system, the standard point system in front of us right now. The first position taking 15, the second position getting 12 points, and 1 point for every single kill in game. So pretty standard, as I just said. I mean, we're all used to this by now, and it's something that has sort of made things a lot more interesting, because yesterday we almost had a 20-point game from the team of AGxT9. I mean, they had to settle for 19 points in the end, but that is the most aggressive performance we've seen in a while. Right now, these days, even if you are going really aggressive, that just means like what you're getting somewhere around 25 plus points in from a single match. And we're talking about aggression, I guess. Fixes does not like aggression with him just choosing to sort of run away from the fights, but he'll be back soon. I hope so, at least. But the teams present in Group C, we did see 1952 over here, a really big name, followed by the lads that had to qualify. So if I have to pick teams that I'm going to be looking out for ABCNSQ. Had some interesting matches the last time they were here. PFS Esports had a wonderful performance. Then we have AGT9 AXE. The ups and downs from the teams are there, but hey, I mean, they will have a steady climb. Then there's GTxBeatDrop. GTxBeatDrop during the qualification stages, they absolutely, like, they blew my mind. But then we come here, we make it to the quarterfinals, and well, I mean, the domination is there from their side, but I mean, I still expect the team that I saw. Not expect. I mean, I want to see the team that I saw during the online qualifiers. I want that team right here, and I want that team to stick to the finals. But it looks like we are going to have to wait a while. I guess I should not have mentioned aggressive performances just to scare fixes away. But ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hear from you guys. Like, what do you think the situation is going to look like? But before we do that, let's have a look at the overall standing. So TRZ Esports is one of the invited teams, and they are doing really well. Out of the 5 matches that they played, they had 4 chicken dinners. So that is just a testament to how impressive this team is. 139 points already to their name. They're already making it. Then on the second position, we have AGxT9 AXE with 62 points in total. And then 53 points for ImmensityX. A really decent performance from their side. GTxBeatDrop, as I said, really wonderful performance during the qualifiers, but in the quarterfinals a little shaky. But that is also because of the fact as to how good TRZ Esports is doing. Then we move to the second phase of the standings, where things look, well, not that interesting. XBDS is there with 26 points, Phantom 4 UI 22 points. So these teams will be shuffling things up as we move forward with the day, but let's see. They need at least 1 or 2 good games in order to push themselves to the other side of the standing, in order to be inside of the top 8 and say that they will be making it, well, to the semifinals.
Yeah, and I'm back.
Hey, Fixes, you're back.
Yes, back, and well, Troubled Worlds is where we live in, where internet service providers tend to just keep us poking with some bad services. So yeah, that's maybe the case over here. But either ways, what we are witnessing. So we do have one invited team that's performing really well. The other teams are also putting their hearts out. Gotta see, how they all play today, how in what manner they perform. So I'm really excited because I just want the first game to get started already. The first map of Erangel, sort of setting the tone for the day. Then of course, we've got Miramar, Erangel, Sanhok, and again another Erangel to follow things up with. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out what is going to happen. And as you said, I mean, you almost gave it away, the schedule. Just kidding. We all know what the schedule is going to look like. Erangel, followed by Miramar, Erangel, Sanhok, Erangel. The same 5 maps, just different lads that will be playing on the battlegrounds today. And I mean, as you said, even I can't wait for the matches to begin. I believe you also have had a look at the overall standings. TRZ Esports, 4 out of 5. 4 chicken dinners in 5 matches. So, I mean, if that sort of odds carry on, they can just have like 8 chicken dinners in the 10 games that they played. Like an 80% success rate, 80% conversion to chicken dinners. Think about that in a competitive lobby, in a tournament setting.
It's possible. It's possible. Well, they have been playing so good, and they've been so dominant. This is one of the broken lobbies that we've had. And 1952 also, chiming in. They've been playing well. So let's see. The first game has already started off. We've got the flight path trajectory all the way from Stalbert towards Millie Base. And by the looks of it, kind of dissecting the map into 2 halves. Everyone sort of will have no issues whatsoever taking their drop location. But let's see who gets the chicken in this one.
Well, we'll see who will be getting the chicken, and well, who will be walking away with not enough points to even make it to the other side. But so far, I mean, quite an interesting start to the game, as 7-1 Esports taking Severny and 1952 dropping towards, I believe they will be going towards shooting range, and from there probably just look to head towards North Georgia area. That's how the team will play things out. But apart from these 2 teams, the complete northern side of the map is abandoned. It's just these two teams on the northern part of the map towards, well, civilian and shooting range. So everyone else has gone for a pretty standard drop. There are a lot of teams present towards the Rozhok school situation. Rozhok school, Pochinki, that central part is pretty cluttered up. Then Milta is pretty cluttered up. XBDS deciding to go towards Yasnaya, Polyana. There are three teams on the military, and the circle moves towards the southwestern part of the map. So Katka is there inside the circle. Hospital, Rozhok, Query, Ferry Pier. Almost the central and the western part of the military island in its entirety is inside this first circle, including Farm and Pochinki Potato Hill. Just outside of Shelter is where it ends. So that is going to be the situation right now. But as we were talking about situations, BFS Esports, who started off with a 3-man roster, well, they've been cut down to just 2.
They indeed have, and well, Turget already losing out on his life over here. You've just got Slow Cheetah and Blue Ecstasy to, take the baton forward for your team. Well, apparently they have engaged themselves in a triathlon, for swimming, then running. We just have to wait for them to cycle around. That's the only thing that remains. But either ways, Alpha has got his crosshairs pinned down onto towards the boys from BFS. So really have to see if or whether Blue Ecstasy can make it out alive.
Well, definitely. And I mean, he has figured out a way to get away from the entire situation, just avoiding the players of SN and falling back. But again, I mean, as I always like to say, early game fights will always be about that RNG, and even the RNG did not play a factor into the situation, as the players of BFS were out in the open, so they did not have any compounds to get those loots from, while the players of SN did manage to grab a few weapons for themselves. But since the players have gotten away, I mean, even with 2 individuals, you might just be able to secure a few placement points in like 3 to 4 kills if you are having a decent enough game. So that is, I think, something that the team will be looking out for next. But over on the northern side, we do have the lads from 1952. Now, 1952 have been really impressive. This is the team that came out of nowhere. No one had heard of them, and now almost everyone knows them and knows sort of how impressive these lads have been on the international stage. So over here, I mean, their start to these quarterfinals has been a little shaky. I mean, based on how the standings look for them, it just feels like they're just another one of the teams that qualified to this stage of the tournament. But I mean, we know they can pop off at any time. It's just the fact that 1952 are sort of like another version of Venom Legends, where they take their sweet time to just amp things up slowly and steadily.
Yeah, that they do, right? And they have been. I mean, we can never rule this team out,
Oh
considering
yeah.
how they've been playing, or in fact, how their performance was in the PMPL. Because, like you mentioned, they started off a bit slow. They were still understanding how to perform in the certain lobby, and once they understood that, they kind of went steamrolling. Uh, they used to be really close to those chicken dinners, always getting those third, fourth points, position points, getting a few kills here and there. Of course, all their players had been playing phenomenally well, especially Entry, the way he's been fragging. So, yeah, this team does carry a lot of potential with them. And we've got to see. I mean, in the CC, you still have those big names from the Bangladeshi region all
Oh yeah.
managing to qualify. So every single time, we go up to a different stage, the competition sort of increases. But it's again expected from 1952 to try and make it to the finals and even perform better there. Maybe also go for the championship.
Well, I mean, the championship is something that they will be trying to move towards slowly and steadily, but they have to make sure that their approach towards the championship is consistent. That's it. On the other side, XBDS. Now, I mean, I have no idea what to expect from this team. With the four-man roster, they do actually have really good performances, but right now it's just Hero, Drago, and Sharon in this game. And I mean, XBDS have a wonderful opportunity to qualify. They are not too far away as far as the overall standings are concerned. But in order to do that, in order to secure the slot in the semifinals, they need to make sure that at least, I mean, 3 games are going their way. They have 3 games where they finish in the, let's assume in the top 3, in the top 4 with 6 to 7 kills to their name, or let's just say 5 kills in every single match, and they finish in the top 3 in every single game. So 15 points from those games right there, 45 points in total. So that is the sort of performance that they need to put up XBDS in order to just solidify their standings and just say, all right, yeah, semifinals, here we go. Otherwise, I mean, it is just going to be like the situation that was yesterday, day before yesterday, where up until the final game, you might just think, all right, we are inside the top 8, and after the final game, you all of a sudden find yourselves just packing up and leaving for home.
And that's the case with all these teams and all these players. Sometimes you kind of have those bad days, and suddenly you realize that all right, it's continuing for quite some time, and things will get even more difficult for us. And then one thing follows the other, and then it all goes crumbling down. But today is something teams would want to play to their optimal best. They do not really want to leave anything left behind. They want to be satisfied. So
No, yeah.
it has been a rather really slow start to the game. We must say, just a few fights, just one that we did get to witness. That was about it. Now everyone sort of going in with their rotations, trying to commit and find some good places inside the zone, and that is pretty much it.
Well, that is pretty much it, as you said. And remember what I said before we went into the lobby. This is going to be a slow game, and that is exactly what's happening. Apart from the first kill that was secured as soon as the match started, we are 8 minutes in, and teams are just focusing on their rotations from now. The first blue zone is just about to close in another few seconds, and then we will have the second circle. It's going to be really interesting if the second circle also takes a southern shift and is again going to be split between the 2 islands. That's what I want, somewhere towards Ferry Pier and the military bridge area. That will make the match more interesting. But now I expect the fights to break out in these open fields towards the south of Pochenki. And whoa, I should have asked for a car or something today, I guess.
So, considering how this circle has been, Johnny, we are looking at a fairy pair circle, right? So, it's gonna get more interesting from here on now, because you've got so many teams rotating from the eastern side over here. So, we gotta see as to how these teams are gonna meet each other up at what junction exactly, and then maybe go after each other, maybe take a few fights, or are they gonna stick it even till the late game? So few decisions that they have to really make.
Yeah.
Gotta see what turns right.
Yeah, what turns right and what turns wrong? That is what we are going to find out. And look at that. How many teams is that? One, two, three, four. I believe that's like 6 to 7 teams in the farm split area. So all these teams rotating together. Someone has to stop and start shooting. And I believe that is just what is going to happen to the squad of BMG, as not Jon Snow with the rest of his teammates. Well, they actually managed to avoid the entire situation. Was the GTxBeatDrop along with them, the squad that just stopped at the edge of the circle? Absolutely no one deciding to take those shots already. Now, finally, Shinigami is being shot at. He takes around 30 damage and still managed to get away. Even the vehicle hasn't been damaged. On the other side, Chief from the side of Python, actually, I believe he just took an exit from the vehicle a little while it was still moving too fast, resulting in him getting knocked out. But since his teammates are going to be there, so not a situation that I think the lad is going to be too worried about.
Well, right now, Team BT4U, they're just waiting around inside their warehouse. But either ways,
Yeah.
we do have a fight that might happen right in front of them, as there is a team just trying to traverse around, and somehow these lads they're not gonna take shots at them right now. They're not gonna reveal their positions. They're just gonna wait things out, and once they're out, once they're out in the open, that's where I think they might decide to strike.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it is going to be quite interesting to see what the next step in this match is going to be like, what the next few phases of the game are going to look like for these teams. I mean, because look at this now. Look at it this way. Now, towards the western side of the map, the teams that decide to take the Ferry Pier Primorsk compounds quite earlier on for themselves will be left in a situation where they will just have to absorb and take those fights from the teams that will be stepping towards them. On the other side, the teams that are a little bit towards the northern part of that situation, towards the side of Quarry and the on the edges of the Gutka farm area, those teams are just left to hide. They will look to protect their position, not give away too much information, let the opponents move, and then they will just move along with the circle unless they decide, all right, this team is way too exposed, or someone actually present themselves as a wonderful opportunity to get picked off. That is when the fight is going to be picked on. But other than that, this is the sort of situation what I'm talking about. AGT9, they are trying to pick off BMG so that they can move inside the circle, although they are smack in the center of it. But getting solid concrete cover is always a useful thing. On the other side, BMG, their job is just to keep their heads down.
Yep, and we gotta see as to how they're actually gonna do that. But look at this quarry circle, something that we haven't really witnessed from quite some time. So many teams coming in from the eastern side. It's going to be so much fun. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be fun, and I guess the fun has started as the players of SN will get picked off by AGT9 Jerry, just securing those 2 kills and adding them to his total tally. 4 kills secured by this team up until this point. But look at this, that the first squad has been eliminated, I believe, from this game. We're down to 15 teams, 53 players. And there was the airdrop inside of the water. I believe no one wants to risk losing their lives in order to get that. So the MK is going to have to wait. But talk about waiting, that is not something that the squad of PT4UI knows, as they charge towards the squad of RL. AXE OP spotting out one individual, taking a few shots, but he does not manage to connect. He had the wonderful opportunity. The opportunity was there, right there. He could have taken down Mr. Redo with a nade behind the tanker, but decides to reposition himself towards the other edge of the broken wall.
Yeah, that he does. And right now, let's see what happens, because the fight has sort of broken off, and we've got an Axis going in. Well, they're all positioning themselves. I mean, quite an unusual day at work today, to be honest, Johnny. I mean, why aren't these teams fighting? That's what I'm really thinking. 15 teams still alive. What is going on? You've all right. So finally, you get to see some action. XPDS Sharon pushing in, has managed to knock out one player over there. He's kneeling down. Oh, that's his own teammate, and I think he's going in for the revive after getting the confirmation on the opponent over there.
Yeah,
But
I believe
again, standing
XBDS.
still.
I believe XBDS, they have had a squad wipe just for themselves, because I was seeing them take a fight in the kill feed, and I believe I just missed out on that one final individual from the lineup that they finished getting finished off, because the team's counter has just gone from 15 to 14, and XBDS was the name that I just saw fighting. So, and Sharon was the main reason the cornerstone his team was able to pull themselves out of the situation. So, quite an impressive stand from the team.
Yeah, indeed it is. Finally, two teams falling down. It's already 15 minutes, but oh, this might be a headshot. How on earth could he miss that one? It was a clear shot right on his head, but now he knows exactly where he's put in. Can he get it again? Oh, this time is the time he does not really miss. And Axis, well, buddy, that's not how you're supposed to be peeking, especially when you've got a bolt action looking at you. So being punished for that. And I think this is the cue for team PT4U to just try and get a few kills secured for them.
Well, definitely, Lord completely pinned down. Amaz nowhere to be seen. close to his teammate. He is holding the back lines, but PT4UI, they aren't scared. They just run in, and what was that? Lord just sacrificing himself, I guess, in order to allow Emaz to escape, just trying to see if that was worth it. Emaz out in the open. Well, he gets finished off, so clearly it wasn't. And PT4UI just getting those finishes and wiping out the entire team. But, well, I guess it is time for all the EDM fans to start celebrating. The beater is about to drop soon, as it is GTxBeatDrop on our screens right now. Immon and Lucy knocked out. Flex, Pennywise still left standing. And Python Chief, a man that was that did manage to knock himself out a couple of seconds earlier, is the last player surviving for his team. The rest of the lads have been taken down. Definitely won't be an easy escape for him. But in the meanwhile, 1952 getting eliminated. Wow.
All right, that is something that we never anticipated. But look at Team Python, Chief being the last survivor, 3 of his teammates already falling out, and with the circle also closing in, it's going to be such a tough task to try their players. So gotta see as to what they are gonna be doing over here. As Chief, well, he's trying to spot the player out. Did in fact take a few shots. But then again, it is, of course, the players of Team GT that are going to be walking out as victors, of course, with a casualty though. But here we have Immon in a fight of his own, just about to clutch things around, gets taken down. That's where his cavalry will be arriving. Can they get the finish? Yes, they do. And Team GT, again, surviving by the whiskers. And Pennywise, I don't think he can be revived, or can he?
I guess he can be revived. I mean, there's not too much trouble right there. They're going to blow up the vehicle so they can have some solid cover as well, and then they will go for the revive on Pennywise. So GTxBeatDrop make it to the other side of bad situations that they were in, with 3 players surviving. Just Immon, the man who went to save Pennywise, was the one who got finished off. And look at this, they already have 7 kills secured through their name. They're in the top 10. Make it 9, I guess, as ABCxNBSQ will be the next team to be caught off guard by Lucy. Lucy's taken a lot of damage. He will be knocked out, but Flex and Pennywise are on their feet again. Either this is going to be the moment that GTxBeatDrop get eliminated, or this is the moment where they establish themselves. I believe they will probably just solidify a top 4 finish as far as the standings of this match are concerned. That's a bad spot to go for a revive. You just got shot from that direction.
And yet they are going for it. I think, well, they're just living to die. That's what they want. But ABCxNBSQ's Raka has fallen to the play zone. Madcat, he's gonna try and move in, just deploying as many smokes as possible. I believe these are those panic drops that you tend to go for. But yeah, I think now this decision makes more sense. He's actually going in for the revive.
Well, alrighty. And I don't think the last player from I mean, it's definitely not going to be an easy job for these 3 players to make it in, because the individuals from ABCxNBSQ, look at them, look at the map. So GTxBeatDrop, they are running on those flat areas. They're running on the flat surfaces and trying to make their way inside the circle. And I think they don't realize the fact that ABCxNBSQ, their individuals are still alive and right behind them. Now they will get distracted by the players that from the high ground towards the quarry area, the quarry mountains, from where they are taking shots at, and also by the players on the other side of the circle and the center of the circle. There is absolutely no way for them to sort of confirm that there is a squad coming in from there until the squad actually makes it. And once they do, it's going to be down to 50-50 as to how the fight is going to go about. So this is going to be really tricky for the team to move forward. But talk about tricky stuff. What is that drive right there? AGxT9 AXE. The individuals are trying to catch a few of the players rotating inside the circle, but this is going to be a tough job. Look at the map. There are players knocked out here and there, but I mean, at the end of the day, you don't get points for the knocks. You have to secure the kills.
You indeed have to. And we've got to see as to, what these lads are up to considering this circular shift that is in front of us. AGT9 off to a really good start. 7 kills already, no casualties taken by this team. And there you have it. Tornado also being taken down by Insane in the process. Now he's got Team BMG right in front of him, taking a few shots at them. But from the backlines, you've got PT4U also chiming in inside the fight. And they're also going to be exchanging a few bullets, going to be securing or trying to secure a few knocks here and there. But AGT9 got to see as to how they're going to retaliate, because Insane this time, the first knock coming out from their side, they've got to get those revives on. They've got to engage back, considering so many teams are around them. It's going to be such a daunting task.
Well, it will definitely not be an easy job, as you said. And let's see what the team's mindset is going to look like. PT4UI, they have a pretty decent position as far as the height advantage is concerned. Majority of the teams, they will be able to spot out the majority of the teams from the distance. But securing these kills is not going to be an easy job. Plus, the circle also takes a weird shift, moves towards the center. So PT4UI, they will have to fight from that slope that is completely exposed. And well, in a situation like that, they definitely would want to toss out a lot of smokes, try and move down, completely down towards the dip, and will be a little bit more aggressive in this situation. But AGT9 AXE, the players are just trying to find some cover for themselves, as they are quite close to the players of TRZ, and both the teams will just look to hide and hold on to their comfort zones.
Well, there you go. AGT9 still, trying to get in, get as many frags as possible. Well, Cherry lobbing that grenade. Is that going to connect? That's a big question, and quite interesting. Oh, now it makes sense. They're just switching around with scopes. Like wondering why Mini 14 on a red dot. Then times coming up, but rather going in for the spray with the 3 times on an M4. And Chipsy almost down. Yes, finally a Ban will be the one securing the knock. Now going after his teammates, will definitely get the second one. That's going to be YOLO, and for 2 more players remaining. And now they are actually committing in for the push, spotting out Emperor right out in the open. I do not really have any idea as to what he was thinking over there, but Mr. Redo, how is he going to come towards his teammate? Well, he has been spotted out in our screens, but has YOLO seen that he's just beside the smoke?
Well, let's see. I mean, YOLO does realize where the threat can come from, so he's being careful. He's being cautious. That's always going to be a good thing. Alrighty. He sees the 3 smokes that are out there, and he knows that if Mr. Redo was to step out in the open area, he would clearly see him. But now he realized, so those smokes are like markers as to where exactly he needs to aim. Let's see when the finish is going to occur. But over on the other side, 7-1 Esports taking the fight against AGT9. This is not going to be an easy job for them. All right, one individual, Insane, being taken down by the players of BMG might just be the thing that they needed. But Naeem, he's the last player surviving, takes a few hits as the players peek over the ridge, and he will get finished off. AGT9, look at that. The team has 15 kills. Apart from this entire team, there are 5 more people alive in the server. So maybe the record that was set by A1 Esports yesterday can be broken in the first game today.
So, alright, so one shot was a bit late to the party because Counter was really quick on his reactions. Finally coming down to the 2 teams that we have, AGT9 going against 71 Esports over there, and it's going to be a 4v4 duel. Is what we can see and witness. One shot. Well, he'll be taking that back stance over there. You've got Cherry and his teammate Insane right with each other. It's a 2-2 split for GT9. But the same can't be said for 71 Esports. They're still, just prone down, waiting for some sort of movement from the players of AGT9. Well, letting the zone play, is that what they're trying to do over here, Johnny?
I think that is exactly what they are waiting for. In fact, both the teams are just waiting to waiting for the blue zone to come in, because now the circle is in a really interesting situation, right? This hill acts literally like a wall that separates these two apart, and until the blue zone closes and finally picks a side, like, all right, this is the team that I will favor and the other team will be forced to move in, this fight can remain at a complete standstill. There is no opportunity, no incentive, in fact, for either of these teams to move over to the other side, take the risk of taking the fight and getting eliminated, or in fact converting into a victory. No incentive to take that risk to accomplish anything for now. Both of them are inside the circle. Just wait it out till the next blue zone.
Indeed. AGT9 and 71. The two teams that have made it so far. Who is gonna take the chicken though? They're all just playing the patience game, and both of these teams have got equal amount of kills almost.
Yeah.
I think AGT99 might have a few extra, but apart from that, equally contested. Just dropping off smokes. This is the one thing that's really hard to understand. Why would you, just knowingly smoke without any reason? Because you're giving your opponents the room to kind of rotate in and get close
Yeah.
towards where you are, and it's definitely not a wise decision, sort of blocking your own vision and getting no trade-offs around that. So gotta see
Uh,
if it's gonna bite them in the back later. Yeah.
I mean, smoke in itself can actually uh, be backfire, as you said. I mean, just blocking your own vision, but you have to combine it with a grenade or molotov, or maybe just block out the vision and just run in towards your opponents. The AGT9 AXE are just doing that, and in doing so, they secure the chicken dinner for themselves. As you said, block out. They did exactly what you said. Blocked out the vision of their opponents, and then two individuals going from the flank, two just running through it, running through the smokes and pushing in, not even allowing the opportunity for the opponents to realize what actually happened right there. And a wonderful performance as well. So I believe they also now have finished with 19 kills.
Wow.
Is it 19 or
Wow.
18?
Yeah, we've got to see. Even I miss how fast the action really unfolded
Yeah.
towards the very end. So many things happened. In a jiffy, the fight was over. So likewise, that has to come down to bad decision making towards
Yeah.
the end over there. No need for that smoke. Could have just waited and let the zone play out, or maybe just be patient enough. Be patient enough. Use one of your players as bait, and make sure that he gets some even trades for your team. Maybe spots out two players. Information was supposed to be the crucial factor over there. Rather than getting information, they sort of blocked their own information path, and also
Yeah.
let the opponents kind of spread out, and then were just ambushed, completely wiped out, demolished, and here we have it. AGT9 off to a really good start.
Exactly, and I mean, it was a wonderful performance, but apart from AGT9, I'm actually quite upset that TRG weren't able to secure the first chicken dinner of the day, because then again, I mean, they have 4 chicken dinners from the last time they played. I was just hoping they get a few more today. Hopefully, they have 4 matches remaining. They will be able to convert the rest of the matches, and we're gonna see how far can the team go. I mean, but up until now, I think A1 Esports is the team that has qualified with the most points, that being 170 plus. So that is the record that TRZ will try to beat today. And TRZ were having a pretty decent match. They were waiting for that late game aggression. They were waiting to pick those late game fights for themselves. But by the time they were, the job was on them to actually take the mountain away from the squad of PT4UI. They were picked off from multiple directions. So not really a position that the team thought they were going to find themselves in. But hey, I mean, you can't always have every single variable of the calculation. But hey, it's 19 kills. That AGT9 AXE have 34 points from this game.
Wow. I mean, just 1 point shy. I think a kind of a similar performance as to how the boys from A1 pulled off in the last game yesterday. 34 points again. So Yeah, 19 has become the cursed number, not getting that 20 bomb, but it's again, just a factual thing that we make in our minds. Or if you're getting 20, oh, you're so good. If you're getting 19, you aren't. No, they are equally that good. Had there been more players alive, they would have taken them down as well. But 71 Esports, not too shy either. 21 points for these lads. But overall, I'm not kind of happy with how things went off, right? Teams were playing way, way too slow.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost came down to a point where I might have fallen asleep. So it was that slow. So what I would really want from these teams, from these players, is try to spice it up a bit towards the early start. Go for those fights, take those risks, because the road from here is not going to be easier, right? The road is going to get even more tougher, and if you can't take those 4v fights, 4v4 fights, then what are you playing for even? So they have to understand that a little bit of risk is something that you have to take in this game.
Well, I mean, definitely, and it will be quite interesting to see if that is going to happen. I mean, if the teams will decide to take fights in the next few matches that they have left. But hey, I warned you, Pictures. I warned you. This is the group where it feels like for 20 minutes nothing happens at all.
I mean, that this is where we do want a lot of things happening, right? So I really want a lot of fights to just emerge out, right from the very start. But we have the overall rankings. TRZ Esports, 149 points is what they do have for themselves, and I think they will definitely try to kind of topple over A1 Esports. But then again, it was just that one day where they were absolutely good. They have to be good today as well to do that. And AGxT9, they are picking up the pace, securing the first chicken dinner. 96 points, just 4 shy from the century.
Yeah, just 4 points away from the century. But look at the differences that have presented themselves. AGxT9 on 96, and then the team on the third position at 59 points. Team on the fourth with 54. Then we have the team on the 8th, 9th, and 10th and 11th position, just sticking around in the 30s for themselves. So this is cutting it way too close for comfort. Let's see how these teams will be able to sort of establish themselves in a little bit more of a comfortable position before, or not before, but after the next few matches that they play. Because this was just the first game, ladies and gentlemen. We still, again, have 4 more matches to go. The next match that will be played, the next map, in fact, is going to be Miramar. But before that, we'll take a very short break. So just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Karakin. Today, let me guide you on an in-depth understanding of this 4-square-kilometer humble island. Before stepping into Karakin, you may have already heard about the intimidating Demolition Zone. In Demolition Zone, buildings will be destroyed into smithereens. But rest assured that today's tour will be a safe one. Karakin might be a small island, but the textile industry of the island works as a crucial financial support for the entire island. Our first attraction is Al Haik. Al Haik is a medium-scale town, and people who lived here refine pigments for a living. Then those pigments will be sent to AGxT9 for dyeing. Skyscrapers are scarce in Al-Haik. Compared to other urban areas, there are fewer visitors here, which makes looting easier. It's a perfect choice for a team of 4 in search of adequate equipment supplies. We'll be walking by the sea, and our next attraction will be AGxT9, which serves as the port of importing raw materials of Karakin. Imported textiles are dyed in vats filled with multiple colors and distributed to the factories. If you want to choose this place as your landing spot, then it's recommended that 1 to 2 players in your team land in the containers area, as they can easily find combat supplies here, and head to the city to support their teammates. In the middle of our journey to Al-Habar, we'll be passing by an enclosed warehouse. You will need to use sticky bomb to blast the walls that look less solid to get in. There's always something nice in here. But be careful, as one might not want to hide behind those walls during combat, because those unmaintained walls can be easily penetrated with just a touch, making you susceptible to attacks from enemies and exposing you to dangers. The next stop is Al-Habar, which is the largest urban area in Karakin. There are many residents, hence the numerous high-rising residences. No doubt this place will be a popular spot in the future. Our next attraction is the port city of Bar Shahir, which stores and exports goods of Karakin. This is the perfect spot to search for weapons, making it my personal favorite. Next up is the city of the West, Bashara. It was a city congested with residents, with tall buildings providing convenience in observing the surrounding movements. Just make sure not to lose your directions here. Our final destination is the cargo ship, located at the southwest corner of the map. This ship has been idle here for forever, and has already been abandoned. Yet there are still goods that remained here. However, due to the gigantic size of the cargo ship and the containers, this place no doubt becomes a place to rumble. Don't you feel the excitement already just thinking of it? Besides these urban areas, Karakin also houses many such little buildings. Rumor has it that there's another passage beneath these buildings, as well as a huge space beneath Karakin. Well, it's up to you, believe them or not. Alright, your Karakin tour is now closing its curtains. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, we got it, we did it! I know you'll be there.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Bangladesh Campus Championship 2021, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. My name is One Super Johnny John. Joining me is Fixes right here next to me. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be moving forward in just a few seconds to match number 2 of the teams of Group C. The map will be Miramar like always. And well, I can't wait to see what sort of a pace these teams bring to this map.
Well, it's going to be really interesting. I think what we really want from the teams in this particular map is to take fights early on. So the first Erangel was not the way we had anticipated. with a hope that this will be, sort of more, aggro kind of map towards the start. Let's see what waits for us. But either way, the flight path trajectory this time from the western side towards the eastern, and I think a very good flight path, I must say. The teams are not going to have a lot of trouble trying to traverse to their locations over here. So yeah, they're going to enjoy it. But the circle is what I'm worried about. I think in Miramar we don't really see a lot of tipsy-turvy circles. It's pretty much straightforward on the face of things. Remains mostly towards the center. Let's see where it goes this time around.
Well, let's see. Exactly as you said. I mean, this is the most ideal situation that the teams would hope for. I mean, as you mentioned, getting to your drop locations. If you are playing around with a standard drop like El Pozo, San Martin, Hacienda, Los Leones, anything that is like the meta drop or hot drop location, that then you won't have that much trouble inside of this match. But I mean, all right. So the circle is going to have an interesting start, though. Starting off towards the southwestern side of the map, majority of the teams are already inside the circle. So again, fixes. I do not expect this to be an aggressive game either. This is also going to be a slow one, unless RL and XBDS decide to actually have an early fight, since both of them are moving towards LSR out of all places.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that is possible, but then again, we can take a look at Team TRZ almost being at the center. In fact, rather completely being at the center with their drop. So a game where they can actually go for their fifth chicken dinner. So that is definitely a possibility. And you talk about this particular circle, right? I think this is something we even witnessed yesterday in the map of Miramar. So we are having that trend of these zones, in fact, of these circles, this time going towards the southwestern side. So every single tournament we cast, we have a certain trend, right? The
Yeah.
circles moving to that particular area quite often, if not every time. So this time the trend sort of is favoring towards the southwestern sides.
I mean, yeah, it is. It is the situation that is there in front of us. Apart from, apart from Sanhok, Sanhok feels like has a different meta of its own, where it's usually the northern and the eastern side of the map, where the circle has been moving. We have had southwestern circles in Sanhok as well, but it's usually towards. I mean, majority of the time it's either going to be northern part, either northwest, northeast, the central northern area towards the cow, or it's going to be somewhere towards the eastern part on the main island. That is how the matches have played out on that map. But yes, Miramar, Erangel, Southwest has been the sort of trend. Talking about trends, I mean, PD4UI, they have had a really good start to the day. I mean, the last match was actually pretty decent from them, but now in this match in Miramar, they find themselves, well, in a bit of a pickle, as the drop location seems to have clashed with the squad of BFS. Now, I believe BFS again are in this game with a three-man lineup, so let's see how this fight is going to turn out. Gypsy, he has really good high ground for him, and the M16 with the hollow sight. So if he sees someone, he should be able to at least connect a few tap shots on them from here.
It's going to be really difficult though. I mean,
Yeah.
considering it's hollow that's on him, so not really the kind of scope he would want. But either ways, if he can collect, in fact, enough information relate to their to his teammates, then I think that might also just do the job just fine. But Emperor, oh, it's almost really close. I thought he would be taking a few shots, but in fact, he did not. Now taking the plunge. Let's see as to what these lads are up to. Emperor does have the Scarwell on him, being very, very vigilant with every single movement he's making. He knows that one small mistake can basically cost him his life.
Yeah. I mean, one small mistake and you will be picked off really, really easily. It's really hard to provide support to your teammates in Miramar, based on how the cities are laid out, how the map has been laid out. So unless the teammates are actually just right on top of each other and running together, it's going to be really hard for any sort of cover fire to be effective and efficient. But I believe the mind of the players of PT4UI, it's set on getting those picks from BFS. I have no idea how long the players of BFS will be able to survive or hide away. But moving over to the other side, we have SR Esports. Now, SR Esports are not having a really good time as far as this quarterfinals are considered. They are in really bad position in the standings. In fact, the second page is where they are, and even the second half of the second page is where this team is. So with a three-man roster now, with 4 matches to go, they have to start performing. They need those top 3 finishes in every single game in order to move up.
Well, they indeed do. But right now, Team SR again playing with just a 3-man roster. Don't really understand why the teams do that, to be honest. Just 3 men coming to the lobby. Could at least get another guy. But it is what it is. And well, like you mentioned, to our utter disappointment, it's been a fairly slow start. Not a lot of kills happening anywhere at all. Everyone sort of just dropping off and looting. And I think while they start rotating, maybe towards maybe the third or the fourth circle shrinking, that's when we see these fights happen.
Well, maybe. Uh, I believe, I mean, even after the 4th circle is when we are going to actually witness those fights. So, the early stages of this match, we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and pray to the gods of the game to get some sort of a collision going, just like right now. Look at this. The squad of Pythons are actually just passing by the players of SN. Maybe SN just takes a few shots. Or, I mean, to be very honest, I don't think they're going to do that. But BFS have actually managed to outplay the squad of PT4UI, and they have gotten away somehow.
Okay. So finally, we do get to see a few knocks. That's Ignite. That's going to be taking down Tornado. Can he get a few more though? GSAF's vehicle has just exploded over here, and I don't think they're going to be making a move, are they? It's going to be stepping out of cover, trying to take a few shots. That's just about it. I think they're not going to be pressing on this because they're still kind of unaware of where the other players are. But no, they're actually going in for the kill. They're going to be going in for the chase. So this is exactly what we wanted. Itachi, in the meanwhile, knocking out Tiger in a different fight altogether as they go up against Team Ninja. But Cobra really close towards Jisaf, but Jisaf does not seem to care. He has already made a run for his life, and they've managed to elope.
Well, I mean, so far in this matchup, this is one of the most interesting situation that has developed. SR Esports again, 3-man squad, stuck in the open, and it just comes down to the fact if the team that they are up against, or in fact could have gone up against, decides to fight or not. They were at the mercy right there of EX Army, who by the way just decided to avoid the entire scuffle and just like focus on their own game plan, which was just rotating towards La Triela, I believe. But look at the squad of RL, XBDS. Look at Ninjas and Python. I mean, oh, NG official, Python, and the squad of SN still towards the Porto Parasi situation, haven't even made it to Los Leones. So rotations for them will be, well, they will be a trip. They will be a journey, a long journey.
Okay. So, Team TRZ, they haven't moved an inch. Like,
Yeah.
staying over there only. They don't really have to actually. Just wait for the circle to start closing in. Let for all the teams to come in. And what would be really wise for them is maybe go for a 1-3 split over here. One player up, and the remainder being down over there. That could be there, or else can I have a 3-1-3 up, one down. Either ways, the way they like it, even a 2-2 split is not too shabby either. if they want to play it a bit safe. But the first airdrop coming in, an M249, and yeah, again, doesn't matter which map you are playing, right? This is one of those versatile weapons that you can use in multiple ranges. Even in the close range, the mid range is where it really flourishes. And nowadays, we are actually witnessing a lot of players, use the 4 times on the M249 and just spray an entire squad down and still have a few bullets remaining.
Well, definitely, and I mean, it will definitely turn the tides of the game in your favor. But talk about turning tides. It looks like ABC and SQ could be up against the players of 1952 at any point. So we will be waiting to see if so the situation actually does result in a fight between these two teams. But the winners of of the last match going up against EX Army. So EX Army, they have concrete cover towards Ladriela. AGT9 AXE will be trying to take away the control of the situation from their opponents. Let's see if they are successful. Insane could have actually taken down Jisuf, but decides against it.
Hmm. Well. 71 esports. They're kind of hanging by the thread, right? So at the ninth position, just 1 point shy from being in the safe area. But again, being at the eighth position is where I wouldn't call you to be safe. You need to be
Oh,
somewhere
yeah.
around the fifth or sixth. But here we have it, AGT9 surrounding a particular squad, and GSAF and his teammates might just be in a bit of a pickle over here.
Well, the situation does not look good. AGT9 AXE have them surrounded, and they will be moving forward as soon as they find a knock for themselves. As an insurance policy, though, the players of EX Army have instructed one of the players from the lineup to fall back, go behind the red. So if the entire team gets eliminated, it's not going to be the entire team. It's just going to be three players taking an exit, and the fourth player will just try and get away. This is a risky strategy by the team, because that means if AGT9 actually do end up aggressing, they will be stuck with a 3 versus 4 fight.
All right, so let's see what they're actually up to. AGT9 sort of trying to back out, but wow, that was a beautiful start onto its Maz over there. Instantly responding and quick reflexes shown by Cherry will, of course, get his kill secured, and he deserves that. I mean, that's worth it, right? He was completely off guard, and Mas missed quite a lot of shots. Should not have really given that room to Cherry to act, and he did that with finesse. And wow, beautiful takedown over here. And HET9 off to another good start, securing that one kill. But TRC's Mamba will just explode Lucy's vehicle from. I think this is the fight that's happening around the Chumasera area, right? And again, ninjas are getting themselves into action. So finally, around that third circle, when it starts to shrink in, this is where we are getting to witness those fights starting off.
Well, definitely, and I mean, it should be quite interesting to see how they actually move forward in this matchup. I mean, because now things will get really interesting. As we were talking about it already, this is the point where the fights will actually start to break out. And AGT9, even though the players of EX Army thought they could get away, they run into 1950. They run into literally into 1952 Esports, who stopped them in their tracks. AGT9 closing from the backlines, securing a knock. Insane was the lad who got the knock right there, but they can't confirm the kills. There are two teams present in that location, and the moment they decide to charge in, they will be in some trouble. As we do see Jerry from the side of AGT9 AXE getting dropped by the players of 1952.
All right, so quite interesting visuals over here, and there you have it. I mean, so many fights just breaking out. KST finally trying to close in onto its boys of 1952, and right now, pretty much not a lot of things happening. Xerox has to just heal himself up using those bandages. I'm rather surprised, in hot situations like this, why is he not actually opting for the first aid? He does have it, and you can't be a miser in situations like this. You need to be getting yourself ready, trying to position yourself ASAP, and go for a squad wipe, then take the first aids. And well, by the time I'm done, he's pretty much healed up, used all the bandits he had, and now he's gonna strike back into the fight. What is it gonna happen though? All these teams, nobody being fearless. So waiting for their sweet time. Let's see if 1952 try and aggress, but that is not happening either.
Well, yeah, that in fact nothing is happening so far. But hey, I mean, the first squad has been eliminated from this game, and I believe we're gonna see the second elimination soon as RL Esports find themselves in a really bad position. Two players knocked out. Durjoy is a man who can actually pull his team out of the worst possible scenarios, but this time it will be Lord, and they end up wiping the entire team of 7-1 Esports. First, that was the trade between the two teams, and then it was a 2v2 situation. One lad just delaying his heals, getting finished off, and the last one being picked up by Lord right there. But 7 on the other side, EX Army taking a fight against 1952. One of the lads was taken down. In fact, the trade knocks have already occurred, and whoever survives this fight better be careful, because the moment this fight ends, AGxT9 AXE, they are ready to come charging in.
Well, let's see. 71 Sports Xerox. He's just praying, but nothing really happens as Tawfiq will manage to secure that final kill, and with that, they have successfully managed to wipe out one squad over there. 1952. Well, the trouble is not yet over because they've got to deal with the push coming in from AGxT9, and SharpX already losing out on his life. Magnet has been given the race back up, but now, the trouble here is they have to get inside the zone. Do they have their vehicles? Because it's 200 meters that they have to traverse. And do have those buggies there though. But then again, have to be really cautious because AGxT9's Aban, he's got his eyes set at them. The moment 952 come out in the open, that's where he's gonna just spray them down.
Well, yeah, and that is exactly the opportunity the team has been waiting for. But let's see, Tawfiq, he gets in a vehicle, starts to move. Magnet has managed to make his way towards the other side of the mountain already, just being safe from the players of AGxT9 AXE. But look at the map. AGxT9 AXE are going for a really weird split. All right, and that split is not going to work out as Entry gets the player in the back lines, and now it's up to Insane to try and figure out if he can protect his teammate. Entry goes down to the zone. That is going to be the finish right there. 1952, they will be glad denying this point to the players of AGxT9 AXE, but they deny one and give away another as Magnet's knock is going to be secured by YOLO. He did get a really nice knock. Tawfiq, I believe, is just going to get away from the entire situation. So, I mean, things do work out for AGxT9 AXE. They lose out on two of their players, but now this split between Insane and YOLO, it better work out. Well, Insane takes a few hits, he goes down, and I believe this is going to be the end of AGxT9 AXE now.
Oh, gotta see. I mean, the way they played in the last game, really did not expect them to be going down so quick and getting caught off guard. Not something that they would have wanted, and I think they kind of waited too long, right, for 1952 to come out over there. They should have actually made their way inside the circle to a good, get a good cover for themselves. But it is what it is. Now, gonna see if TRZ can pull this chicken home, because they find themselves engaging against Team XPDS over there. Sharon having already lost on his life, and well, Hero and Drago, these two players, they have to do everything. But yeah, why not? Before you get into the fight, get yourself restocked with those fresh energy. Their drinks that we have as Atomic from TRZ, he's also gonna put himself on those kill feeds as gets a few knocks and kills confirmed for himself. And Well, TRC, they are again finding their way in. They are feeling good about themselves. I think they might actually secure a chicken in this one.
Well, I mean, I hope they do, but GTxBeatDrop can be one of the teams that actually does challenge them. XBTS, look at them. These guys are assassins. They're just hiding in the rocks, just waiting for the players of GTxBeatDrop to let the guard down. And I believe Drago just assumed that that is exactly what has happened as he goes charges in face to face with Pennywise, and Flex is going to be taken down. Drago down on his knees as well. It's up to Hero to protect his team. Down to 50% HP, does get the knock on Pennywise out of all things, and well, his teammate does drop him a bunch of first aids because he does need to move 135 meters inside of the circle. The blue zone is here, puts on the medkit, 100% HP, and GTxBeatDrop Immon, he is going to be really upset about the fact that his teammates have been finished off. 2 kills secured by the team of XBDS. Despite the fact that they always just have 3 players in the game, they somehow manage to get those kills. It's just the fact that failing to make it to the late game stages is what is deterrent to the standings of XBTS.
And right now, with just Hero surviving, the chances are really slim. Yeah, gets taken down to the play zone. Not really the kind of an outing that he would have wanted for himself. But Team SN, well, 6 teams still alive. ABCxNBSQ have been avoiding a lot of fights. They've found themselves in a really promising position over here.
Well, I mean, it is going to be really interesting, and ABCNSQ, as you said, promising position, yes, but they need to make sure they are able to convert this to a victory. If they try and split fight in this sort of a situation, they won't be able to hold on to this high ground. They won't be able to hold on to the circle. They need to prioritize the fights. The closest team to them right now is going to be BFS. Finish them off as fast as possible. Be a little bit more proactive and then move on to the next one. All right, Turgut is just going to be dropped to his knees. He's there with 10 HP. Slow Cheetah making the charge from the other side, but failing to do so. His teammates are getting finished. It was just a 3-man roster, and the entire team actually does get finished. In fact, TRZ get a few kills for themselves. The entire 4-man squad of TRZ is still alive, and look at this. TRZ are being proactive. They know they have to take the fight against ABCNSQ. They are doing that. They will wipe the squad out and then finish off the rest of the teams. They're not waiting for the teams to come towards them.
Rather, they are going and just wiping down everyone one by one. And this is again one of those games where they have again gone really big. To be honest, the way they have been playing right now, well, TRC getting really close. Mamba,
Yeah.
well, gets a lot of confirmation. 13 kills and all 4 of their players alive. I think this is theirs. Just a 4v1v1 situation. Will try and finish off. Puma has seen that grenade being lobbed out. He knows that his target is right in front of him and fearlessly just marches in, gets that kill confirmed. Now, where is the last player? And they're not really looking at him. He's still inside the zone, just playing around the outer edges. Team DRC very close to the victory. And all right, AGxT9, they've done it again. Top 2.
Well, I mean, top 2 finish was something that I definitely did not expect for them based on how the game was going, but YOLO somehow figures out a way to make it. But ignoring the top 2 finish of AGxT9 AXE, this is the 5th chicken dinner for TRZ. 5 chicken dinners in 7 matches fixtures.
Yep. And you know, look at that confidence. They exactly knew where YOLO was. I mean, I don't know if he made any noise or something, but they sort of anticipated him to be exactly there and just marched in with their vehicles, 2 players going in, just taking those shots, securing that win, securing the chicken dinner. Wow. I mean, the 5th one, that's pretty much it. And with a lot of kills though. I think somewhere around maybe 16, 17 kills, if not 20.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. But I mean, where does this put the rest of the teams? Because again, it's maths, right? If all the points are going towards one team, then the rest of them will be lacking those points. And especially since TRZ make it a point to always have high kill games in every single chicken dinner, so now this vacuum will eventually create a really volatile state towards the eighth position qualification point. So that is something that I want to see where this match sort of puts the team. Also, I want to this would be a request to the players of TRZ if they can make a push and try and maybe secure the world record right now, because they like so close. 5 chicken dinners already theirs. Just need to do like what, 2 more, 3 more in order to break it.
Which is possible. Possible, you know, nothing.
The way these lads have been playing, maybe.
Yeah, with the way these lads have been playing, maybe this lobby isn't really suited to their taste, right?
Yeah.
They're too good for this lobby. Maybe the next round is where they are tested, because this kind of domination, I mean, that's amazing coming from the boys, the way they played things out. And you know, I'm really waiting. You know, this is one of those teams that has been one of the contenders right now with such kind of a performance. You know, they've been making the news lately, and into the semis. Of course, if they continue to play like this, we're expecting them to go towards the finals. And now I'm actually starting to think the finals are going to be so exciting to watch, with, you know, all these groups are finally, you know, forming one solo group where you have all the table toppers and together. And yeah, this makes sense now. Look how far we've come.
Yeah, I mean, a long way. And I mean, it is really interesting to sort of see this team and imagine. I mean, because now if you think about it this way. Compare the groups A and B and the sort of level of aggression they brought to the table. Put the top 8 teams from this group in the mix, and kind of think about what the match is going to look like. Who is going to bring out on top? A set of teams that do not won't move until they are absolutely forced to, and a set of teams that, well, they don't care what happens to them. They will just run in guns blazing and won't stop at anything. So I believe the semifinals will be really awesome. But talking about awesome things, we do have the standings of this game in front of us.
Yeah, and TRZ getting those 30 points for them. AGxT9 again getting those 16 points. So exactly something that they wanted. SuperNovas have kept up, but 1952 somewhere down the line, I really feel that they can do better than this, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. But moving on the other side, it is ImmensityX. GTxBeatDrop not having a fun time in this match, but GTxBeatDrop have been doing well so far, so they will probably make it to the other stage of the tournament. Red Light, consistently bad games. EX Army finishing in the bottom. Phantom 4UI taking an early exit in this match, even though the early exit was quite late in this game. But moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the Oppo F19 Pro moments of this game, and this was quite an interesting situation where 1952 went up against first EX Army, and then they were forced to take on AGxT9 AXE. So look at this, AGxT9 AXE, the last surviving player, was there, and then from there, still 9 teams remaining, he makes it to the top 2.
And you know, right before we just saw the overall rankings, right, before this match started, so it was just that 1 point difference between 71 Esports and another team that was on the 8th position, right? Now with again just securing 1 point from this game, 71 Esports, well, they're not looking good. Now we've got to see as to how changes are gonna happen and occur, but well, look at this. TRZ, I think they have sort of you know, kind of toppled over A1 Esports, so as to speak. 179 points, 88 kills, and look at the placement points, Johnny. 91, 7 matches, 5 chicken dinners. Like, how on earth do you get such stats?
I have no idea. I have no idea how they are able to accomplish this, accomplish what they have already done so far. But I mean, this team just gets me excited. I can't wait to see them and wait to see them move on to the next GTxBeatDrop tournament. Hopefully, they will be able to make it to the finals. But things look quite interesting when you talk about. Look at this. So even Phantom 4 UI on the 12th are there with 32 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of still open.
Yeah.
Not for everybody, but for a few teams that can actually contest. But for that, they will actually have to be brave. Now,
Yes.
this is where they need to understand if they're not going for kills, then nothing is happening for them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely they have to understand that they need to try their level best. Just 3 more matches to go. So before we move to the next match, we'll take a very short break. So just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Welcome to Karkin. Today, let me guide you on an in-depth understanding of this 4-square-kilometer humble island. Before stepping into Karkin, you may have already heard about the intimidating Demolition Zone. In Demolition Zone, buildings will be destroyed into smithereens. But rest assured that today's tour will be a safe one. Karkin might be a small island, but the textile industry of the island works as a crucial financial support for the entire island. Our first attraction is Al Haik. Al Haik is a medium-scale town, and people who lived here refine pigments for a living. Then those pigments will be sent to AGxT9 for dyeing. Skyscrapers are scarce in Al Haik. Compared to other urban areas, there are fewer visitors here, which makes looting easier. It's a perfect choice for a team of 4 in search of adequate equipment supplies. We'll be walking by the sea, and our next attraction will be AGxT9, which serves as the port of importing raw materials of Karkin. Imported textiles are dyed in vats filled with multiple colors and distributed to the factories. If you want to choose this place as your landing spot, then it's recommended that 1 to 2 players in your team land in the containers area, as they can easily find combat supplies here, and head to the city to support their teammates. In the middle of our journey to Al Habar, we'll be passing by an enclosed warehouse. You will need to use sticky bomb to blast the walls that look less solid to get in. There's always something nice in here. But be careful, as one might not want to hide behind those walls during combat, because those unmaintained walls can be easily penetrated with just a touch, making you susceptible to attacks from enemies and exposing you to dangers. The next stop is Al Habar, which is the largest urban area in Karkin. There are many residents, hence the numerous high-rising residences. No doubt this place will be a popular spot in the future. Our next attraction is the port city of Bar Shahir, which stores and exports goods of Karkin. This is the perfect spot to search for weapons, making it my personal favorite. Next up is the city of the West, Bashara. It was a city congested with residents, with tall buildings providing convenience in observing the surrounding movements. Just make sure not to lose your directions here. Our final destination is the cargo ship, located at the southwest corner of the map. This ship has been idle here for forever, and has already been abandoned. Yet there are still goods that remained here. However, due to the gigantic size of the cargo ship and the containers, this place no doubt becomes a place to rumble. Don't you feel the excitement already just thinking of it? Besides these urban areas, Karkin also houses many such little buildings. Rumor has it that there's another passage beneath these buildings, as well as a huge space beneath Karkin. Well, it's up to you, believe them or not. Alright, your Karkin tour is now closing its curtains. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Bangladesh Campus Championship 2021, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. My name is Super Johnny, and well, it is time to move into match number 3 of today's matches. Group C is the group that has been playing, and things look quite interesting after the first 2 games. As we were having the conversation, me and Fixes, quite earlier on in the day, about the different play styles of the different groups that we have witnessed so far. Group A being sort of a balanced group where the rotations and the level of aggression, the fights are, they are quite even. Nothing prioritized a little bit more than the other. But on the other side, Group B is all about those gunplay skills being put to display by every single individual teams, just showcasing the team fighting prowess. And on the other side, Group C, the rotations are being prioritized heavily so far in the match. Erangel was super slow. Miramar, it is always expected to be a slower map, and now we are off to the second Erangel of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it is. We will have the flight path in front of us, and it starts from the eastern side of Kameshki, going all the way through school towards the western side of Quarry. So quite an interesting plane path right here, considering all the central drop locations, all the main hot drops will be available to you, unless you are one of those teams that like to go towards the military island. Then you might have to take a few vehicles and start moving from there. But normal approach, a pretty standard approach to the game, will be available to most of these teams. As the day started, we did see 2 squads head towards the Savini and the shooting range area. So I want to see what the change of game plan will look like for those teams. On the other side, XBTS, again, being absolutely uncontested kings of Yasnaya right now. As far as this lobby is considered, no one wants to take them on, and well, they always manage to have the complete drop location available to them without anyone sort of chiming in and creating sort of a scene for them. So let's see how that is going to work out. Lipovka, no one going there. Python, the squad of Python will be dropping towards the Milta Power. The center of the map is clustered up. It looks like a rainbow right now with all these teams present. 1952. Last time shooting range, this time to their standard drop locations. That is the ferry pier area where they're dropping, and the circle is split between the 2 islands. So quite an even split. The entirety of the military base is inside the circle, and well, most of the central part of the main island is inside the circle as well. So I believe this one should be moving towards the central shifts, and then maybe to the later stages we might see a shift towards the military base. Not the military base exactly, but the military island itself. And and that is where the game might come to an end. Let's see if the teams think of this match the same way, and if any of the squads decide to rotate early towards that island right there. But talking about interesting things, 3 teams present towards the Georgia Pool area. 1 towards containers, the squad of EX Army going towards Georgia Pool City, and then I believe we have 7-1 Esports, who have gone for a 4-man split drop out of all things. 2 players towards the North Georgia Pool area, 1 towards the east of containers, and then for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, Punch OP thought it would be really nice to drop towards Ruins along with the players of SN Esports. Oh boy. I can only imagine what is going through his head. Must be thinking of getting to his teammates as fast as possible. Otherwise, I mean, this will result in a really, really early exit for that individual, and 7-1 Esports will just be left with 3 players. That is the worst. That is the worst. When you go into a game as an entire lobby, you lose out on an individual as soon as the game starts, and then you're like, all right, this is what we have to deal with now. But that is not going to happen. It's another player on the other side from 7-1 Esports that gets finished. BFS actually come in contact with 1 shot. He has been taken down. Counter is still here. He will get charged upon target. Has a TP. Does not need to reload for a while, but he went for it. Went for the entire spray. One of the teammates was taken down with the revive. Will be an easy one. Slow Cheetah cooking up a nade. They will have this fight in the back quite easily. Counter, absolutely no way for him to come out on top unless he manages to have a godly outplay over here. It's a 1v3 situation. The man just has an Uzi and a shotgun, and since it's the early game stages of the game, I am automatically going to assume that he does not have a lot of ammo, a lot of utility on him. It did not make sense for 7-1 Esports to actually charge into this fight. 4-man split drop, you know none of your teammates are grouped up together, plus it's a 3-man roster that you're going up against. All right. Oh, that was brilliant from Turgot right there, jumping onto the first floor balcony and just taking shots on the second floor from there. This is positional awareness, ladies and gentlemen. Where you are, where your opponent is, and what are the possible approaches that you have. Counter did not even realize that was going to be a possibility, and I mean, yeah, quite unfortunate for him, but kudos to the players of BFS starting the game off with 2 kills to their name. A really good early start, and now they are making a movement towards the Georgia Pool containers. So let's see if even after the early start, BFS can actually turn this game in their favor. So, I mean, prioritizing aggression for them, it can be quite tricky because, like the last fight where they knew they had the man advantage, they knew the situation was going to be theirs. I mean, they were quite close to the house, they had cover, and they were able to pick the fight in a very wonderful manner. So things like that do work out for them. But if they try and force a situation mid-rotation, then BFS, there's a high probability they will get picked off, especially against a squad that is going to be a 4-man roster. So a cautious approach is what will be required from this team. And containers is a really wonderful place to loot. I mean, so it's a pretty big area, lots of loot available. So these players should be able to get their preferred loadout in just a few seconds. On the other side, the PT4 UI are picking off a fight against EX Army. I believe Joseph was the man to go down. 7-1 Esports, they find themselves in a really tricky situation now. 2 players left. All right, PT4 UI lose out on one of their own as well. HRXOP has the AKM, is waiting for his opponent to peek, sees him on the edge of the building, but the pre-fire from the lad is going to be impressive. Oh, HRX managed to connect the headshot right there. Pretty sweet. So that's the finish, but it's not all done. They might have secured that 1 kill, but Joseph was really, really far away, and it is sort of an even trade between these 2 teams, PT4 UI and the squad of EX Army. But who can get the first fight? That will be an interesting question. And hey, EX Army, they they charge in, they drop HRX, he will get finished. He's sort of in a position from where Mr. Rito should be able to give him good cover fire, but Vortex is trying to go for the peak. So Mr. Rito, oh no, smoking over here will be a bad idea. The players of EX Army will know exactly where to toss the utility, or in fact where to shoot if they have any players in the backlines, which they actually do if you pay attention to the map. So that is going to be the thing, right? The Emperor is trying to delay the fact that the revive is coming in from the lads of EX Army. And this is exactly what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first quad wipe of the game. PT4UI being finished off by the remaining 3 players of EX Army. The teammate in the backlines was knocked out, but this is going to be an easy revive for them since there is absolutely no one to stop them. And with these 4 kills, they have 500 meters to go, but they will be able to get enough loot from the crates that they just drop down to the floor. So should be an easy game and an easy time as well. But alrighty, a few starts right there. After this, I mean, the only catalyst to the game that can sort of turn things, make things go wild is going to be a weird shift of the circle. Imagine the circle moving towards the southeastern side, not the southwest. That is where the teams will expect it to go, towards the hill that is quite close to the military bridge. This time, I wanted to head towards the southeastern part of the military island. That is going to make things interesting. First of all, the Novoripnoy bridge is there for contestation, so rotating from there is definitely going to be a challenge. Then there's the question of water rotations and whether anyone else decides to make it and rotate from the water area. Along with that, I mean, the bridge fights, the shoreline fights, everything in itself will be really fun to watch. And it looks like 1952, yeah, that makes sense. 1952, they were on the ferry pier area. They would be the first ones to cross over, and the circle has moved towards the southern side. So it will be super fun to see how the game pans out as XBDS are crossing from the Novoripnoy bridge. And well, there is the situation in Farm and Milta. So 2 teams present in that area. NJ Official along with another team, I believe that is going to be the squad of BDS right there. So they will be able to cross as well. But will there be a fight occurring? TRC on the other side, making an interesting move of rotating through the water area out of all things. I mean, if they land towards the western side of the military island, there is no one to stop them. So it will be an easier approach, and it's much safer than crossing the bridge after 10 minutes. You know there will be teams there. As BMG, was the team that was crossing from the Milta city. They find that out the hard way. They lose out on one of their teammates. Shinigami was taken down, but not Jon Snow in the backlines is actually making and coming up with a wonderful trade, finishing off Goblin from the side of NJ Official. So this should be a comfortable finish for the team right here, as BMG, they are getting third partied by the players of XBDS. And well, I mean, XBDS, again, the early rotation does work out for them, but they need to be careful of NJ Official. They are also present in this location. Sharon backing off, prioritizing the circle. Yeah, moving towards the west right now. I believe the best position inside of the game right now would be the city that is towards the military bridge area. That puts you close enough to the center, but not close enough to a location that is going to be a high priority for a lot of teams. Plus, there is concrete cover available. So if you can go there and keep your head down low, it should allow these teams and these individuals to have an easier time surviving, an easier time moving forward in the match. But let's see how things will work out. XBDS, again, the 3-man roster somehow managing to make things work for them. This time out in the open, have taken a small hill for themselves. So they need the thing about being out in the open is you have to be extra careful.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Shawnee, that did that problem.
Hey, Trooper's back.
Yep, I am back. And look who is back in action. The teams from Group C are here, and they're all fighting here. And 7 matches already. And if I'm not wrong, 5 of the chicken dinners are already in the tally of TRZ Esports. So they're making quite a name for themselves here, Johnny.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it will be quite interesting to see how the move towards the next few circles is going to be. Because now, I mean, as we have been witnessing, the circle is already making those weird shifts inside of the game, and that was something that neither of these teams anticipated. All right, so BMG actually have a really interesting position from themselves. They have taken control of the road towards the southern part of the military base, which, I mean, has a lot of cover available, but then again, it's sort of out in the open at the same time.
Yep. Let's see how they're going to deal with all the situation. Looks like a military circle out here, and shots already being exchanged. ImmensityX, they've got a chicken dinner under their belt as well, getting some kills, some important points as well. So they're looking pretty good in the overall ranking, ImmensityX. So these kills are just going to add on to their confidence moving ahead, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be into the semifinals as well.
I mean, yeah, ImmensityX already have a pretty wonderful position in the overall standing, so there's a really high probability that we will be seeing this team in the semifinals. But then there's the question of how many chicken dinners can TRZ actually secure?
Definitely, that is a question. We'll find the answers to that in the next 3 games as well. But look at that news coming in from the Novo Bridge as well. And Team Red Light is in sort of a situation with the players of AGT9, and they are also trying to cross the bridge. One of them is knocked down there. Still, I can see 3 or 4 teams towards the main island, and definitely those teams need to figure out a way to get towards. And I think they might just end up swimming at some point. That is how it is looking like. But right now, the team of Red Light, they've got some kills here on the Novo Bridge. They're trying to stack up the loot and move ahead and towards the playing area. And let's see how things are going to work out for them.
Well, definitely. It will be quite interesting to see how things work out for them. But Red Light, not in a comfortable position as they are rotating from the blue zone. This is the third blue zone, so the damage is going to be pretty decent. It won't be too much, but it won't be too little as well. So Durjoy is feeling those hits as he was making a rotation. And in front of them were the players of AGxT9 AXE who have stopped their vehicles, will try and go for shots. But Durjoy actually does have the DP, switches over to the AKM with the red dot right here, but does not manage to connect. And AGxT9, now this gives them the wonderful opportunity of going into the circle first and then camping the edge and just waiting to see if they can spot the players of Red Light. So Red Light need to be extra smart about how they rotate.
Yep, they really need to be extra smart. And look at that, while the Joy was busy taking those shots, his other teammates were making sure that they get inside the playing area. So let's see. This is towards the eastern edge of this island, of the zone, and teams are like concentrating here. But on the other side, towards the side of the valley, as you can see, the players of TRG. And as you mentioned, it was always going to be difficult for the players of Red Light, as they are going to be teams holding up the edge, and that is exactly what they're facing right now.
Well, definitely, and let's see how things are gonna go. The spray from Musketeer actually missing its mark. Switches over to the Scar L. Well, priority has to be the zone right here, the play zone. They're not too far away from the circle, just measly 100 meters. So BMG won't be too worried about the situation. But that's the thing, when you are least that's when the guards are supposed to be dropped, right? And Musketeer gets distracted just a little by SR Esports. Penguin manages to get away.
Definitely, that was a really near escape for Penguin as well. Just on the last bit of HP that he was onto, and the damage was coming in from the play zone as well. But Musketeer missing that opportunity there. But look at this new zone, a complete shift towards this military island. It was the team of SR Esports that we were mentioning that needs to find out how they're going to come towards this part of the island, and that is exactly how we saw Penguin making his way. I believe he's got some teammates as well that have joined him already, and it's pretty interesting to see them hold that spot inside the zone while the other teams who were already on the island are still finding outside the edges.
Well, definitely, and I mean, talk about being outside the edge and taking damage from the bullets at the same time. That is exactly what happened to Lord from the side of our Red Light right there, getting finished off. So 16 minutes into the game, almost 17 minutes is going to be the mark right now. We still have 14 teams, 42 players alive. So again, sort of not the usual pace of Erangel, a little bit on the slower sides, but two teams taking an exit, and now the fights will be forced. ABCNSQ, look at them. There's one team literally right next to them. The squad, the three players from XBDS hiding inside those houses, and sort of a situation where four teams are sort of huddled up together. One of them being TRZ.
Yep. We saw them hold up that valley, and this part of the map we know it holds up a lot of ridges, big ridges in the Erangel, and this is going to play a big impact. That height advantage over the teams like just how Python Esports, like ImmensityX, they are like grounded in those buildings of the military base right now with a team right on top of them. So these sort of situations are going to be a mini contest for these players to handle with and like come up, because not a lot of games that are remaining. Like second last Erangel and just one Sanhok after this, and then they have the last game. One good thing about this group though, all the teams are playing all the matches. That is what I like about this group. See.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. Every single team shows up in every single match. Doesn't matter what position they are on. Doesn't matter how many points they were able to secure. Even if it's just three players, they do show up and they try their level best to secure the game for themselves, even with just three individuals. That is also another thing. And not just going absolutely YOLO, but try harding in every single game, because you never know what might work out. Look at this SR Esports, just two players. They could have just gone super aggressive, try to pick off teams mid rotations, but no, they are trying to survive to the late game stages. They're playing exactly how a two-man situation should have been played. I mean, I don't like the fact that they are actually quite a little bit too close to the center. I would love to see them literally on the line of the circle right now and just playing the edge to edge to edge to edge, sort of a play style in this matchup that would have actually taken them to a good enough position. But let's see if this is going to work out, because now ABC and SQ might just be able to spot out the players of SR Esports as they try to move in towards the circle. Circle moves towards the players of XBDS, 7-1 Esports in the center, and TRZ. Look at them having the high ground advantage.
They are always at a nice spot, right? And as you're right, they're living dangerously, the players of SR Esports right now, and with the players of ABC and SQ circling around them, it might just things might just get difficult, not for any time for the players of SR Esports there. But look at this, as we speak, there's a situation developing just towards the southeast side. The players of AGxT9 also closing towards this section, and look at that, a vehicle right from their faces, and insane. That's some insane driving in the final circles here. And let's see what sort of impact is AGxT9 going to make in this game, because I'm pretty impressed the way this team has been playing throughout the tournament. And for now, Insane goes down. We can see one of the players, one of his teammates trying to get close to him, but this sort of looks over for Insane here.
Well, yeah, the situation is definitely not a good one for the lad. He will get finished off. Cobra just has to connect a few more bullets right there, and after that, I believe AGxT9 they will try and see if they can sort of slow things down as far as the rest of the match is concerned. But ABC and SQ taking a few hits. Mad Cat is still alive though, along with Raka and Rox. So these three individuals will be totally focused on coming up with strategies and seeing if they can help their team survive and move to the next stages of the tournament.
Yeah, definitely, and he's a really nice talent. Matt Carey has been impressive at different stages, and let's see how they're going to play when they are going to play the next stages. That is also going to be a thing, but it depends on these three matches as well, how they are going to play. But one of the teams coming back to that height advantage of TRZ Esports, it's nothing they can do wrong, right? Johnny, in the last 7 matches that we have seen, the zone always from the area they are trying to approach the zone always sort of gives them some advantage to play with. That is what I feel.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing, right? I agree with you on that. TRZ somehow always manage to find themselves in a really comfortable position in the zone, be it the high ground, be it the edge, be it just the position inside of the circle where there's the most cover available. And right now as well, look at this. So TRZ, they are not necessarily running into those fights. They're just letting the teams at the bottom fight it out, and whoever is left, they will just pick them off.
And that is exactly what they are doing, and deciding to take a fight at the right moment, and always finding a number of players in the final circle. But right now, it's tend to talk about 952. They've got hold of a team here, eliminated them completely, and getting some important kills for themselves. Because to be really honest, they're not looking in the kind of rhythm we expected them to be in. But still, they are still there in the top 8 and still fighting here in the top 7 teams. So sort of not a panicking situation, but really they can improve upon where they are in the overall standing in the overall as they would like to work on that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, let's see how the team will be able to convert this match for themselves. I would love to see this team at least be able to get one game. XBDS. I mean, they've had those wonderful matches, but no chicken dinner so far. I would love to see them get that chicken dinner for themselves. Also, the circle is actually really small right now, with the players of XBDS being right on the edge. So, if they can just avoid these fights, somehow manage to just get the teams to look away from them, they might just be able to move forward in the match.
Yep, but look at that, Johnny. Xperia is playing a 3-man squad at this stage,
Yeah.
trying to get back into the top 8, missing out on a 4th player. That's sort of an emotional pressure also for the lads to play with. They need to perform at this stage, but with just 3 players, that's a constant disadvantage they are playing with. But as we speak, they're trying to get hold of this southern edge of the zone, trying to push here. TRZ is also looking around, and let's see how this contest is going to come up. As we speak, 71 Esports goes down there, punch out of the game.
Well, one individual, in fact, team being taken out entirely. But look at this, TRZ, 8 kills secured. I guess it's time to make it 9, as Whitecat did manage to secure one more knock. Hero from the side of XBDS being taken down to 4 teams. 1952 is here. XBDS managed to make it to the top 4. Really glad for them. In the top 3, in fact, now. And it's just Sharon Whitey from the side of XBDS that is still surviving and somehow managing to keep the team in this fight. But Whitecat looking for the finish right there. TRZ, this true, but this will be the 6th chicken dinner, by the way.
If 1952 allows them, and
They're
look, by the
picking up
looks,
1952.
Yeah,
I believe
they're
Entry is
picking
the
up.
last player from the team. No, the team is there, but they're on the edge, the blue zone. 1952, they can't get this.
Yep, I believe there are 3 players right now. Yes, Tofik, Magnet, Entry, but they are big players, right? Magnet and Entry, they have been impressive at different instances, but this is the test. Final circle, TRZ Esports on the verge of getting their 6th chicken dinner. They have XBDS, one guy standing towards the right hand side, and they know he's not going to pose a lot of problem. Can he get a knock though? That is what I am going to look out for. Can he just surprise TRZ Esports in the tracks? And can that opening be created for 1952? Because right now, even the zone is not supporting 1952 here.
Yeah, I mean, even the zone is sort of moving away from them, and the zone actually is in the favor of XBDS. If Sharon can just control his trigger finger and just keep his head down, maybe Sharon can make it to the next stage and have a top 2 finish in this game. That is 12 points. So even without kill, 12 points in the match will give you a boost, considering how close the standings are in the second page. But the nades are being tossed by the players of TRZ. They have 11 kills. Mamba has been taken down though, as he tried to peek the players of 1952. TRZ, all they need to do is now either try and pick off Shannon, which they are actually going to be able to do. Sharon makes it to the tree, and then just pick off the players of 1952 as they try and move inside the circle. So Atomic from the other side now has to focus the players of 1952 who are moving from his left. They manage another knock. The Feek has been taken down. Just 2 players left for 1952. Magnet takes down Atomic. 2 versus 3 situation. Entry is there as well. Prone's down to the ground, which can be a bad decision. Takes a lot of damage, and there's the knock. 1 versus 3. It's all on Magnet. All he has to do is, well, have a reverse polarity and somehow just push all these players away from him. But TRZ, rare FPS, tosses the nade, falls back to see the magic happen. And will that do the trick? Magnus down to around 30 HP. This is it. This is the finish 1v2 situation.
And Magnet does not have any meds.
Yeah.
And that is the end. The nade finally tossed at the right spot. That is the end for 1952. Once again, the fans are not going to like him. like it for 1952. But TRZ Esports, 6 chickens out of 8 games. That is the story for Group C from this Campaign Championship Bangladesh 2021. And I'm really happy, really excited how this team is progressing. And I'm pretty sure that that the bar A1 Esports set up the total score, that they are definitely going to go past it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this team, I believe they are already past the score line that was set by A1 Esports, and now the next target is just to see if they can do what Mega the Conqueror did a long time ago. That is I believe 7 chicken dinners is the record right now for in a short tournament. So that is something that they will be trying to accomplish, and it is quite wonderful to see how they are actually doing that as well. So let's see. Right now they are sitting at 6 chicken dinners. Maybe they can tie up the record in the next one, and maybe they can just surpass it with the last game.
That's like almost 80% of the games that they're playing, they're getting chicken dinners. So that's an amazing number. Almost 80% success rate. Which team do you find right now at the global stage as well who can do that?
No one.
Kudos to the IGL, man. Kudos to the IGL. Because even we are witnessing the game, right? In the early half, in the early 15 minutes, TRZ Esports is like not there in the scene. We don't see a lot of action coming in from them. But when it is towards the final circles, they know exactly where to be, at the right spot, at the right time, with the right advantage of the terrain. And they win over fights, get points, and get the chicken for them.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, there is no team in the international competitive scene right now that has sort of done what this team is doing right here in front of us. I mean, 80% success rate, that those are some god-tier tracks right there from the IGL. But they need to keep this going, because me and Fixes were also having this conversation. This lobby is a little weird. It is really slow with how the aggression sort of builds up to the end stages of the match. So the real test for the squad of TRZ will be what happens to them in the semi-finals and what happens to them in the finals. I think that is something that we'll be looking forward to. If they can have like performance like this in the finals, imagine not even an 80% success rate, but if they can convert like 50% of their games in the finals to chicken dinners, even that will be really impressive.
Definitely it is going to be, because in the next stage I'm sure the teams are going to like target 1 or 2 chicken dinners. But you're getting 6 already, coming from the qualifying stage. So that's a hell lot of confidence that this team is going to carry. And look at that. It's not a chicken dinner with a small number. They're getting 15 kills also. 30 points out of this game. It's not been anyways, you can say, this has not been their secondary game. They are always coming up with the A game.
Yeah, definitely. And they always go for those high kill chicken dinners as well. Not in this match, but in the ones before this as well. On the other side, it feels like whenever they end up having a good game, GTxBeatDrop for some reason has a bad one. So GTxBeatDrop need to figure out a way how to not let that happen. But again, moving forward to the Oppo F19 Pro moments of this game, BFS, just picking off the players of EX Army right there. I believe that was in the early stages. And EX Army, they were in a situation against PT4UI. And that was an interesting situation, but not really a position that the team thought they would find themselves in.
Yeah, definitely. And coming back to the TRZ Esports, look at this ridge they are holding, Johnny. And it's all just comes back to a little bit of luck as well. They did not have to leave the ridge right till the end. That had advantage. They got in the 4th or the 5th circle. It was always with them towards the end. The circle sort of just came towards them. The teams were forced to push and look for covers that they had left around. And that is exactly what happened for 1952. It was a brilliant game coming in from 1952. We'll talk about that later. But right now, overall ranking after game number 8, 1952 in the top 3. So some sort of respite for the fans of 1952 right now. GTxBeatDrop drops down to the 4th position. But BFS Esports completing the top 8. PMG, ImmensityX, ABCxNBSQ, they are still in the top 8. But for how long? That is going to be the question for these teams.
Well, that will definitely be a big question. And I mean, it won't be an easy job for them to do just 2 more matches to go. XBDS right here on the 9th position, 45.71. Esports on the 10th with 42. But look at the bottom now. Ranger Official, EX Army basically out of the fight, and not a finish that the team thought they were going to have. But that is the reality that they have to face. And maybe in the next two games they try and be a little bit more aggressive to showcase what could have been if they weren't playing a little too carefully. But hopefully the next two matches they will have a good time. But before we move to the next map, we are going to take a very short break. So just stay tuned, keep watching. We'll be right back.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Welcome to Karkin. Today, let me guide you on an in-depth understanding of this 4 kilometer humble island. Before stepping into Karkin, you may have already heard about the intimidating Demolition Zone. In Demolition Zone, buildings will be destroyed into smithereens. But rest assured that today's tour will be a safe one. Karkin might be a small island, but the textile industry of the island works as a crucial financial support for the entire island. Our first attraction is Al Haik. Al Haik is a medium-scale town, and people who lived here refine pigments for a living. Then those pigments will be sent to AGxT9 for dyeing. Skyscrapers are scarce in Al Haik. Compared to other urban areas, there are fewer visitors here, which makes looting easier. It's a perfect choice for a team of 4 in search of adequate equipment supplies. We'll be walking by the sea, and our next attraction will be AGxT9, which serves as the port of importing raw materials of Karkin. Imported textiles are dyed in vats filled with multiple colors and distributed to the factories. If you want to choose this place as your landing spot, then it's recommended that 1 to 2 players in your team land in the containers area, as they can easily find combat supplies here, and head to the city to support their teammates. In the middle of our journey to Al Habar, we'll be passing by an enclosed warehouse. You will need to use sticky bomb to blast the walls that look less solid to get in. There's always something nice in here. But be careful, as one might not want to hide behind those walls during combat, because those unmaintained walls can be easily penetrated with just a touch, making you susceptible to attacks from enemies and exposing you to dangers. The next stop is Al Habar, which is the largest urban area in Karkin. There are many residents, hence the numerous high-rising residences. No doubt this place will be a popular spot in the future. Our next attraction is the port city of Bar Shahir, which stores and exports goods of Karkin. This is the perfect spot to search for weapons, making it my personal favorite. Next up is the city of the West, Bashara. It was a city congested with residents, with tall buildings providing convenience in observing the surrounding movements. Just make sure not to lose your directions here. Our final destination is the cargo ship, located at the southwest corner of the map. This ship has been idle here for forever, and has already been abandoned. Yet there are still goods that remained here. However, due to the gigantic size of the cargo ship and the containers, this place no doubt becomes a place to rumble. Don't you feel the excitement already just thinking of it? Besides these urban areas, Karkin also houses many such little buildings. Rumor has it that there's another passage beneath these buildings, as well as a huge space beneath Karkin. Well, it's up to you, believe them or not. Alright, your Karkin tour is now closing its curtains. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, we got it, we did it! I know you'll be there for me.
I'll always be here.
Whoa! How you? Yes! Thank you, bro.
Welcome to Karkin. Today, let me guide you on an in-depth understanding of this 4-square-kilometer humble island. Before stepping into Karkin, you may have already heard about the intimidating Demolition Zone. In Demolition Zone, buildings will be destroyed into smithereens. But rest assured that today's tour will be a safe one. Karkin might be a small island, but the textile industry of the island works as a crucial financial support for the entire island. Our first attraction is Al Haik. Al Haik is a medium-scale town, and people who lived here refined pigments for a living. Then those pigments will be sent to AGxT9 for dyeing. Skyscrapers are scarce in Al Haik. Compared to other urban areas, there are fewer visitors here, which makes looting easier. It's a perfect choice for a team of 4 in search of adequate equipment supplies. We'll be walking by the sea, and our next attraction will be AGxT9, which serves as the port of importing raw materials of Karkin. Imported textiles are dyed in vats filled with multiple colors and distributed to the factories. If you want to choose this place as your landing spot, then it's recommended that 1 to 2 players in your team land in the containers area, as they can easily find combat supplies here, and head to the city to support their teammates. In the middle of our journey to Al Habar, we'll be passing by an enclosed warehouse. You will need to use sticky bomb to blast the walls that look less solid to get in. There's always something nice in here. But be careful, as one might not want to hide behind those walls during combat, because those unmaintained walls can be easily penetrated with just a touch, making you susceptible to attacks from enemies and exposing you to dangers. The next stop is Al Habar, which is the largest urban area in Karkin. There are many residents, hence the numerous high-rising residences. No doubt this place will be a popular spot in the future. Our next attraction is the port city of Bar Shahir, which stores and exports goods of Karkin. This is the perfect spot to search for weapons, making it my personal favorite. Next up is the city of the West, Bashara. It was a city congested with residents, with tall buildings providing convenience in observing the surrounding movements. Just make sure not to lose your directions here. Our final destination is the cargo ship, located at the southwest corner of the map. This ship has been idle here for forever, and has already been abandoned. Yet there are still goods that remained here. However, due to the gigantic size of the cargo ship and the containers, this place no doubt becomes a place to rumble. Don't you feel the excitement already just thinking of it? Besides these urban areas, Karkin also houses many such little buildings. Rumor has it that there's another passage beneath these buildings, as well as a huge space beneath Karkin. Well, it's up to you, believe them or not. Alright, your Karkin tour is now closing its curtains. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, welcome to the PUBG Mobile Bangladesh Campus Championship 2021, brought to you by the Oppo F19 Pro. My name is Warren John, joined by Fixus right next to me, and we will be, the match on Sanhok, match number 4 is just about to begin. Also, Fixus, did you witness that? TRZ Esports, I mean, god damn, they have been impressive so far. Back-to-back chicken dinner, amazing performances throughout the day. And hopefully they can, I'm going to be hopeful that they go ahead and break the record right here in front of us.
Well, they can. I think it sort of has become customary. They just lose one game and the remainder 4 games they're going to get chicken dinner. And if they do this is not just going to be a national record, might as well be an international, something like the feat of BTR hasn't even achieved.
Yeah.
But talk about achievements. We are seeing a lot of professional players getting Mustangs. How do you feel about it? Which car would you want to buy in future?
I mean, the same one, Mustang, but not the recent editions. I mean, one of my favorite.
You want to go old gold?
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite cars of all time is the 67 fastback version of that car. Either that or a 67 Impala, because there was this show that I loved to watch when I was a kid. And I mean, not just as a kid. I mean, the show lasted for 15 years. So I've been watching it since I was a kid up until last year. And that was the iconic car from that show. So 67 Impala would be the choice. But we'll talk about cars later. And all of that stuff later, Fixes you and I.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the game. Sanhok, that's, well, the trajectory is right in the middle of the islands right there, right in the middle of the map. So no one will have a troublesome situation reaching their favorite drop location.
Well, I mean, considering how things have been panning out, and let's see where the circle goes. All right. So again, we've got to say this is real, right? The trends are real. We're seeing a lot of Pine circles lately, and that's the case here as well. So gotta see as to how things are responded onto it. And 1952, well, this is one of those teams, right, that we have to look out for. Can they get a chicken dinner in this one? That's a big question.
Yeah, and I believe that is going to be a really big question as well, because this one is not going to be an easy one. Because look at where they have dropped. The players have gone for a 4-man split. The people in boot camp are quite close to the players of EX Army. Then there's ABCxNBSQ that they have to worry about. Not the entire squad, just a few individual players. And then in towards Paradise Resort, there is the squad of SN as well. That is SuperNovas. So TRZ, they have to find a way to avoid these teams, group up together, loot at the same time, and then move.
So do you think they're gonna get a chicken dinner in this one as well?
I have no idea. I just said that.
I mean, still, like, the way they are playing, their spotting is absolutely accurate. And if, teams gift them kills like this, what would you do? Definitely not gonna just be a bystander over here. Definitely you'll get a few kills for yourself. So let's see. I mean, Team TRZ, they are sort of gonna regroup with each other and getting into the groove. Already one kill secured. Now things have started to get way lot interesting after this, and from here on, what went wrong with that particular team. But here we have Dr. Rifat from Team Python going after Team Ninja, and will make sure to get the kill confirmed with that DBS. Now, considering how things are over here, Team Python, they've managed to get that one kill, but is that going to be enough though?
That is going to be a really big question, and considering the fact that if we pay attention to the mini map, the other players of the side of NG official are present in the close proximity as well. Pythons need to be extra careful, and they needed to be extra careful. Dr. Rifat is going to be dropped down to the ground, but Chief might be able to provide a lot of cover fire to his teammates. All right, he's looking somewhere else. He's looking in a totally different direction. The players are running on the slope, out in the open, completely exposed, and Chief is just distracted by the beauty of the houses for some reason.
So you've got Chief. Well, I think they are making peace with themselves. They realize the fact that it's like kind of a do or die situation. You have got to help your teammate out, and having Dr. Rifat knocked out over there, well, Chief has to do something. He has to be the chief of the tribe and has to secure quite a lot of kills. But elsewhere, we do see Maz again being picked off. So, not really the kind of a start. So, overall, I like the way this Sanhok has been so far. We're witnessing quite a lot of fights here and there. Teams are actually engaging against each other. This is how a match is supposed to be.
Well, yeah, this is how the sort of level of aggression should be inside of the game. They're present during the early game stages, but not too prominent, and then during the late game stages where we see the most fights. Unlike the last three matches that we have seen, where no fights occur at all. So it will be quite an interesting situation to see how the teams actually do move forward with this one. And this is all due to what map is being played right now. I mean, it is Sanhok after all, a map that is known to force teams into getting into those fights. So let's see if things do move forward just like this. Well, another one being breaking out between GTxBeatDrop and the squad of BMG on the other side.
All right, so it's going to get really tricky. Team BMG, are they going to avoid the fight, or they're going to answer back? That's a big question. Already two of their players being taken down. Now, this is definitely not the kind of a situation that they would want to be in. Flex cooking up that grenade. Imon getting that knock onto its 9, which leaves just one player. But Team GT, they're just marching in. And, well, BMGs, what are they going to do? Imon just going through with that AK. Can he get the knock though? Not yet. Nothing really confirmed. Jon Snow does get that one knock onto its Vector, but that's just gonna be it, because Team GT, they just push in and wipe out the entirety of Team BMG. And in what fashion? They completely were, fearless in that push, in that aggression. They knew that, after getting two knocks, it's their cue. This is the moment they can get those 4 kills secured, and they did push in tandem. So of course, helped their cause. Now back with 4 players, 4 kills. Really good start for Team GT.
Well, a good start, but they need to make sure that the good start does conclude with a great finish as well for this team. Otherwise, it's all going to be for nay. On the other side, Python actually in a really chaotic fight against the players of NJ Official. The even trades are there from both the teams, but I believe the squad of NJ Official now are left with just one player. That is going to be Pro, who's left to survive. Chief was knocked out, but AGxT9 is going for the revive. The smoke is there, the rock is there for cover. Pro will try to make an approach towards his fallen comrade as well, but it's not going to be an easy one, as Maxton does have a line of sight available, so he will be able to finish off Goblin. Now, again, Pro, as mentioned before, is the last surviving player for his team, and he is being surrounded. It's a 1v3 situation that he has to figure out and escape from.
So Team Python, Well, Maxton just thrown in. Don't know why, because considering the fact that Architect, he is moving in, it's going to be a rather very tough call. Well, Pro, his position has been compromised. He exactly knows what he's up to. And did he just nade himself? Yeah, he did. He did. And he was intimidated. The very presence of the snakes closing in, it really hurts once Python sort of binds you, right? So kind of fearing that, rather just blowing himself up to smithereens. That's the way he wanted to go off.
Yeah, deny points your opponents if you can. Just not let them have the satisfaction of knowing that. Deny them the satisfaction in knowing the fact that yeah, they weren't able to finish you off. You went out on your own terms. So let's see. I mean, moving over to the other fight though, 7-1 Esports find themselves against the players of AGT9 AXE. I believe that is a 4v3 situation.
Yeah, should be. AGT9 versus TRZ is one fight that I really want to witness the way the lads of TRZ are playing. And you talk about TRZ, they are right in front of your screens. This time, inside the bootcamp area. So, well, they've got pretty much a hefty loot, whatever they want. I don't think they could ask for anything more. All they have to do is just go inside the circle, do the killing. But here on, we do have the players of PT4U, a team that well hasn't been doing good lately.
Well, definitely. And I mean, let's see how the players of EX Army do actually take on the situation right now. So, EX Army, then again, inside the circle, were really wonderful position, have the high ground advantage as well. But just the fact that the two teams in front of them won't let them cross over to the other side when the circle moves away is what can be the reason for the demise of this team moving forward in this match. So 10 minutes and we still have 14 teams, 49 players. There was a sort of a bit of a couple of skirmishes in the early game stages, but now everything seems to have calmed down.
Well, sort of really feel serene, but we do have some fight breaking out in front of us. Axis, he's just cooked up that grenade. What are the teams up to, Johnny? I'm done. What am I witnessing? Why are they doing that? You've
Well,
got your teammates alive.
This is how this lobby has been. Fights are not forced. They are just they aren't fights exactly. It's just trades that happen all of a sudden. Like, look at this. Insane went down. They traded out Magnet, and now Jerry is punching him to death for some reason instead of just finishing him off and moving on to the next players. So just stuff like that. That is, I think, the natural element of the teams present over here. Apart from TRZ, of course, who have absolutely just relied on those mid-game fights heavily. TRZ does not. They aren't too aggressive in the early game stages. From the mid-game is when they start to show their true colors, and that is where they get most of the kills. But red light, I believe this is going to be the end of this team, as it's just two players left hiding, and the players of PT4UI, well, here they come.
Here they come, but are they going to get a few knocks? That's the big question. The nades have been cooked. They are being deployed, but they're still... they've got their own nades deployed over there. Molotovs coming in, pushing in close. Anything about to happen right now? Team RL, can they hold on? Durjoy and Axis. Well, it's pretty interesting, this entire scenario. Axis and Durjoy forming a cover fire with each other. And, the Molotov going out, just revealing his position. But Durjoy does not really want to flinch. It's a massacre. It's a nightmare for Team RL, being in such a sticky spot. Yet they're just, they're being swarmed by the team of Team PT4U. And finally, HRX manages to get that knock. Now with that, they will be pushing in. Durjoy did manage to knock someone. No, I mean, he did some damage, but that was just about it.
Yeah, I mean, he tried his level best, but what can you expect when it's a 1v4 sort of a situation right there in front of the team? But talking about other things, look at the southern side of the map, 1952. Not the only team present in that area, along with the players of AGT9, and the blue zone is closing in as well. So this game will get a lot more interesting if the circle actually does move towards the southern part of the map right now. Well, sort of on towards the team of 7-1 Esports or ABC. But I mean, TRZ already taking control of the Painan situation. Just, I mean, proves that even if the circle has a weird shift, they will be there in the next stages. So let's see if they can move forward and convert this match as well.
Gonna be interesting to see what they're really up to in this one. XPDS having the better of the circle. TRC moving in. Now, Team GT, we've got another team right beside them. You've got PT4U and Team SR coming in from the northern side. What I really like is the way AGT9 and 1952 are rotating, right? So I think this is a moment where, either of these teams have to, engage with the other. But having Magnet already out of the equation, it's going to be a tough task for 1952 to be the ones, breaking the silence, rather, going for the kills. And challenging a team like AGT9, you have to be playing on your toes. You can't really be casual, be laid back about it. So let's see, 952. Well, they are getting in. If they can possibly get a knock or two, because the players that have qualified for the PMPL championship finals, they're certainly not playing like it today or even the last time. I would have wanted to see them in top 3, and it kind of breaks my heart to not find them over there.
I actually completely agree with that. In fact, I expected them to play just like A1 Esports did yesterday, Venom Legends, or TRG is doing right now in the sort of lobby that they are put in. A team that is heading to a really, really big international tournament soon. Well, they need to get a lot of practice in and showcase what they will be taking with them to the next stages. But over here, I mean, the best case scenario was that Magnet did actually manage to bring an even trade along with the players of AGT9. That is the thing that kept 1952 in the fight right there. But now let's talk about this. Python taking on the players of SuperNova. 2 versus 3 situation, I believe, with the players of 1952 coming in from the rear. So not really a wonderful time for this team.
Yeah, not really. Now you've got Chief just waiting things out. I mean, losing out on Maxton and Dr. Rifat is definitely gonna hurt them a bit, but it's still 13 teams alive, so this is definitely not where the teams would want to get eliminated, because you're not gonna get any position point out of it. Meanwhile, Pennywise will of course go after XPDS, but look at Tawfiq having spotted out one of the players of Team SN and missing a lot of shots. I mean, that is not the kind of precision that I would expect from the players of 1952, as Team SN have decided to just push on towards them. Now they're just a 2-man over here. The other player we've got to see as to where he is, which flank angle he's formed. But right now, SN are applying a whole lot of pressure. And can 1952 get out of there safe and sound? That's the big question that needs to be answered over here.
Well, it is quite a tough question to answer, and it definitely won't be an easy task for the teams to find the answer to the situation. As 1952, look at them; they have to deal with the fact that there is a split, the 2-1 split between the team, and also 2 players in the blue, 1 player inside the circle right now. Sharp is going to be dropped by Abio right here. On the other side, Entry causing a lot of damage, taking down is Itachi, but Entry is being taken down, and Entry being knocked out means Tawfiq is the last player surviving for the team. All hopes of the squad are on this one individual who is, well, running in the opposite direction.
All right, so things have further intensified. Puma, is he gonna go in? No, before that, Chief will be the one taking him down. Team SN, having lost two of their players, they're still gonna stick those revives before getting themselves inside the battles. As Puma, the last player to get the rest back up. Well, Team SN has been engaging in quite a lot of fights over here, and Chief being spotted by Alpha will make no mistake. That's the kind of a precision that you would want from teams playing in this sort of lobby. You spot players down, you just take them down instantly with no qualms whatsoever. So right now, Team SN, 300 meters to get inside the circle. In Sanhok, it's pretty much doable, but we'll have to, just watch out for all those reptiles around them that might bite them, that might sting them, that might do terrible, nasty things to them.
Well, definitely, and I mean, they do need to be careful, extremely careful, before all the nasties that you talked about happen to them. But let's see. I mean, moving forward in this match is definitely going to be a challenge for the team. Talk about challenges. I mean, TRZ taking control of the center of the circle, just putting up a wonderful fight. 7-1 Esports going up against SR Esports. SuperNovas picking off the players of PFS right in front of them. So now is the time in the circle. 20 minutes in, and now finally the chaos begins.
Well, the chaos does begin, and better late than never is what I believe.
Yeah.
So, right now, most of the teams, they're still trying to get in. The fights have started elsewhere, but we'll get to that because right now, 1952, they're still sort of struggling to get inside the circle, and getting eliminated so early on is definitely not something that they would want for themselves.
Well, definitely. It isn't something that no one wants for themselves. And let's see. I mean, the finish of the game, I believe, is going to be quite an interesting one. And it does not matter actually who wins the game at this point. Supernova is moving forward, doing a wonderful job. 5 kills already secured, and playing the safe zone play quite perfectly. They are playing the area between the play zone and the blue zone at this point. The last player from the squad of Python surviving, AGxT right there. Alpha running behind the rock will definitely be surprised, and AGxT is going to get the finish on those two players. Alpha turns around, finishes them off right in the nick of time. Revive your teammate, lad. You can't leave your teammates behind. All right, so Tafiq manages to make it in the top 10, but he does not have any more first aids on him.
Yeah, and that's gonna hurt him in it. And right now, PT4U, well, gotta see as to if they can, step up, get a few more kills for themselves. But AGxT9, they have got themselves amidst all the action, and 4 kills. Well, they are hungry for more. PT4U, HRX has spotted down the players of TRZ. Now, considering TRZ are the ones inside the circle, and they are actually gatekeeping a lot of teams, it's going to be such a tough task for them to just try and get in. But Chipsy, wow, just gets taken down from the left hand side as he falls. As AGxT9, Jerry, he's just gonna try spraying down and will find counter, will eliminate him, and with that, 7 teams just alive.
Well, I mean, let's see. It should be an easy job for TRZ to actually get the finishes. I mean, the distance between them and the players that they're trying to take down is quite a lot, but since they have the circle on them, that means the opponent will have to move in their direction, and TRC could just wait the entire thing out. But no, Mamba spots out the players of PT4UI running out in the open. The knock do come in from him and there, but Mamba is going to be taken down. Rare right behind him, going for the revive, but that is not going to matter, ladies and gentlemen. Another squad being wiped out by TRZ. They have 5 kills secured for them. They are down to the top 6 teams. Just 5 more teams to eliminate, and they will move forward. And I believe they are not stopping. All right, so it is BFS actually. BFS who have taken down GTxBeatDrop out of the game. We're down to 5 teams, 13 players alive. TRZ again with all 4 players from their team still in this.
So right now, TRC, what do you think? Are they going to do it again? I think considering how things are going in their favor, maybe it's real. But Atomic taking quite some heavy beating will instantly just prone in, get that first aid onto it himself. And Mamba playing from a far line. Well, it's just trying to spray throughout the smoke, wondering if there's any player. That's a good decision though. And White Cat trying to peek. Does he spot someone? No.
No individual being spotted out. BFS, the three-man roster, finding themselves in the top 5. I believe from here they just want to get those finished, but look at that. Mamba. Wow, that was impressive. He was running, he got shot at, and his instant reaction so fast and so precise. But this could be the end of TRZ right here, as Jerry, a 1v3 being pulled by this individual. He has taken down 3 players, but before he finishes all of them off, Mad Cat will punish Jerry for his actions. And this game might have just been taken away from the players of TRZ. Mad Cat, the last player surviving for his team. It is them and SN, the squad of SuperNovas, and BFS for the chicken dinner. Mad Cat going for the revive on Atomic, or I think he is just trying to make an attempt to revive his teammate. If it happens, if the revive does happen, then the game will end in a 2v2v2 situation.
All right. So here we are. Your wishes are granted.
Yeah.
So 2v2v2 is what we're gonna witness right in front of us. Now, well, we do know who the odds are favoring. It's the boys from TRC, of course. But then again, it's a kind of a Mexican standoff. Rather, it is indeed a Mexican standoff. It's just that you've got to do a partner with you. And right now, Turgut, he's made it so far. That's a really good thing. And considering they're playing as a 3-man squad, that's a really good feat to achieve. But will TRZ survive this grenade? Yes, they do. And the grenade sort of misses by miles. I do not really know why it was locked in the first place itself. But Itachi getting that knock onto its Turgut. Of course, the players of TRZ will be the ones wanting to capitalize. But before that, Itachi will also get the final kill over there onto its blue VTC. Now this has come down to a 2v2 situation, and Itachi getting spotted out by White Cat. He will definitely make no mistakes as we find the last player of Team SN going against the 2 from TRZ.
Well, let's see. I mean, TRZ 2v1 are the numbers right now, and yeah, it is. Here's the 7th. Fixes, they have done it. The 7th chicken dinner for this team is here finally. And they have just tied the world record, by the way. That was set by, if I'm not wrong,
Mega Conquerors.
Yeah, Mega the Conqueror. A long time ago. How long has it been? More than a year and a half?
I think it was set in 2019.
Yeah.
So let's just say almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
After
yeah.
2 years, the world record has been broken. So, and in PMCC, so all you Bangladeshi viewers, you've got to support the lads from TRC.
Alright,
You've got to
so
give it.
Here's the thing. It's just been tied right now. I think they need one more game to break it. They're at 7. They need 8 to break it.
But look at their stats, right?
Yeah.
Look at their stats. How many games have they played? 9 games out
9.
of with 7 chicken dinners. Look at the win percentage, Johnny. That's absurd.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. I mean, winning this many, but here's the sad part, right? They can't go on a streak. They have done their hat trick though. 3 back-to-back chicken dinners is done, but the streak is always like you do mess up the first game. Now it's a 3-game streak. They will get the 4, but it's not a clean day. No 5 chicken dinners back-to-back.
I don't understand. How have these lads done this? And it's
Where
it's kind
were
of
they?
just- yeah, where were they in the PMPL?
Yeah. What were they
Where
doing?
were they in the PMCOs?
Hopefully we'll see them in the next time. I mean, how far is the PMCO fixes? Could you check and tell me? Like towards your left, right? Yeah. Do you see it? There's still time. We still have time.
Yeah, a few months away, but it's still enough time for the teams to just prepare themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, enough time for the teams to prepare themselves. And these guys play like this right now. Imagine what would happen if there will be enough time given to these individuals to sort of practice and play against the teams like A1 Esports, Venom Legends a lot more frequently, because that is what is about to happen after the last game of the day. They will move forward to the semifinals. They will be playing against those teams in the semifinals and hopefully in the finals as well.
Yeah, I mean, I can't just stop myself over here. I really want to just fast forward to the
Same.
finals, and see what these teams are about to offer. Because if the quarterfinals are so exciting, imagine how the semis would be. Now, talk about the semis, then we can just ponder as to how amazing will the finals be. But apart from that, how do they do that every single game? I mean, this is if 7 out of 9 games. That is something that even the likes of 4am, Nova XQF, nobody has ever been able to achieve that feat.
I mean, that is really impressive right there with this team, and I believe this is the first game ever where they have gotten the chicken dinner with kills in the single digit marker. They always manage to get those double digits for themselves, and I believe there is a main reason for that is going to be this person who goes by the name Jerry, plays for the team of AGxT9 AXE. Just finishing off 3 players, taking down 3 players, finishing off 2 from the lineup of TRZ. But look at this, XBDS not having a wonderful time. ABCNSQ finished off early, 1952 getting taken out early as well, the team that we were talking about. And look at this. This is just going to be, I mean, TRZ getting those pickoffs in this match during the late game stages.
And boy, oh boy, throughout the match, I mean, this was not really a huge game per se in terms of kills, but yeah, I mean, you talk about that consistency, man. Who cares about the kills if you're getting 15 points every single game that you play? Now, that is something really remarkable from their part. But other teams also did try early on. We did witness quite a few individualistic fights, but not a lot of 4v4 skirmishes, right? Towards the very end, when circle started closing off, that's where we saw majority of the fights, and a lot of players did want to commit suicide this game. Have they given up, Johnny?
Yeah, I mean, denying those kills is always going to be important, but a couple of seconds earlier, we did witness that amazing attempt from the players of, from Jerry, in fact, from AGxT9 AXE. But look at this, 233 points in 9 matches, Fixes. 233 in 9 matches.
How?
How? Where? What? The average point per match is 25 at this point. Fixes, we talk about winning tournaments and we always say get 15 points per match, 16 points per match to win a tournament. These guys have 25 points per match.
I'm done. I have nothing to say right now. But Team BMG at 56 points. Well, they tied with SuperNovas. Now, this is something that we have to look out for, because this is I mean, anything can possibly happen, because heading on to the final game after this, it has sort of set the tone as to where we are looking to go. And, well, I don't know what to say.
But you know what? I have something that I would like to say, and that is, I mean, TRZ, they seem to have adapted really nicely to the slow playstyle that is there in the lobby, because early game from them, you don't even realize this team is present in the lobby. They aren't there, and they start picking fights after 16, 17 minutes inside of the match. I believe an aggressive lobby would be the answer to their team, and that is going to be the thing that sort of puts them in a really difficult position, and we'll find that out when they move to the next stage. But for now, before we head to the last game, we're going to take a very short break, so you guys stay tuned and keep watching. We'll be right back.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh,
Welcome to Karakin. Today, let me guide you on an in-depth understanding of this 4 kilometer humble island. Before stepping into Karakin, you may have already heard about the intimidating Demolition Zone. In Demolition Zone, buildings will be destroyed into smithereens. But rest assured that today's tour will be a safe one. Karakin might be a small island, but the textile industry of the island works as a crucial financial support for the entire island. Our first attraction is Al Haik. Al Haik is a medium-scale town, and people who lived here refined pigments for a living. Then those pigments will be sent to AGxT9 for dyeing. Skyscrapers are scarce in Al Haik. Compared to other urban areas, there are fewer visitors here, which makes looting easier. It's a perfect choice for a team of 4 in search of adequate equipment supplies. We'll be walking by the sea, and our next attraction will be AGxT9, which serves as the port of importing raw materials of Karakin. Imported textiles are dyed in vats filled with multiple colors and distributed to the factories. If you want to choose this place as your landing spot, then it's recommended that 1 to 2 players in your team land in the containers area, as they can easily find combat supplies here, and head to the city to support their teammates. In the middle of our journey to Al Habar, we'll be passing by an enclosed warehouse. You will need to use sticky bomb to blast the walls that look less solid to get in. There's always something nice in here. But be careful, as one might not want to hide behind those walls during combat, because those unmaintained walls can be easily penetrated with just a touch, making you susceptible to attacks from enemies and exposing you to dangers. The next stop is Al Habar, which is the largest urban area in Karakin. There are many residents, hence the numerous high-rising residences. No doubt this place will be a popular spot in the future. Our next attraction is the port city of Bar Shahir, which stores and exports goods of Karakin. This is the perfect spot to search for weapons, making it my personal favorite. Next up is the city of the West, Bashara. It was a city congested with residents, with tall buildings providing convenience in observing the surrounding movements. Just make sure not to lose your directions here. Our final destination is the cargo ship, located at the southwest corner of the map. This ship has been idle here for forever, and has already been abandoned. Yet there are still goods that remained here. However, due to the gigantic size of the cargo ship and the containers, this place no doubt becomes a place to rumble. Don't you feel the excitement already just thinking of it? Besides these urban areas, Karakin also houses many such little buildings. Rumor has it that there's another passage beneath these buildings, as well as a huge space beneath Karakin. Well, it's up to you, believe them or not. Alright, your Karakin tour is now closing its curtains. Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Are you keeping it real? I'm calling shotgun, wanna see my baby run. Oh, what's the word on the sea? Kicking up the dust, if you know what I mean. We got a good thing going. We got a good thing going on.
Nine games gone by, 7 chicken dinners. That is what TRZ have been doing so far. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh Region 2021, and this time I'm joined with Trooper, who apparently is in a shock, right? Because we are just about to witness the world record being formed over here. 7 chicken dinners tied with Mega the Conquerors. So right now, Trooper, being
just-
one of the panelists, or in fact the casters, to witness history, possibly. How do you feel?
Yep, amazing. We can go down in the world records as well, as we are going to cast this match if TRZ Esports gets the chicken dinner. And wouldn't it be amazing, right? If they get 8 chicken dinners out of 10, 80%. Wow, man, they're pulling off something really great. I'm really happy for this team, but for now, consider this fixes. Even getting 1 chicken dinner in a competitive lobby is like something that that would like keep you awake. That it makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
7 matches out of 9. What are you doing, man? That's an amazing thing they have already achieved here.
They're not just dominating, they're just not abolishing teams. They're slapping them right on the butt, right? Slapping, clapping, whatever adjectives you can use over here, they've been doing that. They've been doing pretty much that. I mean, that's ludicrous. 200 plus points, 230 plus points just out of 9 games. Wow.
Some of the teams did not get it in, I think, 45 games in the Pro League, I believe. That score of 233, and they got just a 9 here. So they're doing something pretty amazing. And even teams from the region, like I believe Blood Legion, they played around 30 games and they got somewhere around 120 points. So I just don't know where TRZ Esports was.
Yeah, exactly. Where was this team? And what? Are we inside the game already?
Yes, we
Is
are.
this the game live? It's
That's
already
how it
been
looks
2.
like.
It's already been 2 minutes, and we have a fight in front of us. Whoa!
And already, I believe there's a team that has been eliminated from the game. Red Light, they are out of here. And I believe so is their campaign. They were not looking really good on the overall ranking as well. They played really well, but the campus championship is now over for them in this round of 64.
Not really a start that these lads would have wanted. But 71 Esports, they did sort of have a chance early on. When the day started, right? They were kind of on the 9th spot, but they've slipped quite a few positions. And, this is kind of their last stage effort in, maybe trying a chicken dinner. You never know. Maybe after that, they might just be able to qualify.
Yeah, sure. And it's a really good start for their last game, right? 3 kills already. They are around the 45-point marker. They have a 10-point lead that the team at the 8th position is now holding over them. So it's pretty clear for them. If they can have a good game here, only then they have a chance. And by good game, I feel I've got to say they got to go at least inside the top 3.
So you've got a lot happening around the circle over here, and well,
Look at TRZ. Look at TRZ fixes. What
what
sort
are they
of
up
rotation?
to?
They are on a boat, and I don't know what sort of expedition they are on.
Atomic. I think they're just kind of looking out for the right route to get their chicken. I think if they go for such a huge long rotation, maybe imagine it's kind of a long shot. Either way, they're going to Primorsk. But imagine Trooper, had they taken that long route, gone towards Siverdi and Ninja, well, Tiger, that's definitely not a way you would want to hurt yourself.
Yep. A lot of players doing that today in this group, right? One of the last game eliminated him and the team itself with that nade of him. But it's good to see multiple teams in Yasnaya Poliana always, because a lot of concrete cover out here for the players to play with, and that is exactly what the players of Ninja Esports are doing right now. So let's see how they are going to push aside the players of Phantom for UI, who are sort of charging on them.
Well, Team Ninja. Let's see. Skull trying to get a knock over there. We'll just patch that first aid up in right nick of time. Tiger going in. Can he get the knock though? Just pre-firing through the angles, has to go in left. Yes, it's gonna be Pro. Does find out Emperor in the process. As Goblin continuing the spray on towards Mr. Redo. And Viril almost using it for 6 times. It's quite chaotic towards Yasnaya, to be honest. PT4U going up against Ninja. Both these teams have not really been having those good times, but they want to go down valiantly, as brave soldiers and get a few kills for themselves.
Yep, it's the last bit in the tank, right? And they're going at the complete accelerator mode right now. Let's see what they are going to accomplish over here. Hurting the players of Phantom Esports constantly is Ninja Esports. At one point, it was looking the other way around, but now Ninja Esports, they are pushing and fighting for the last player. Charik Sophie holding on to that stay away angle right now, but the nade is going to do the trick. Tiger is there, and that is the elimination. And Phantom Esports, end of the campus championship for them as well.
Yep, dreams being shattered. And well, every team sort of had a fair opportunity to try and prove their skills. It's all right. I mean, it's just that one tournament that's gone for them, and a lot are going to follow. To all our viewers, we have to constantly remind you that this year is packed with tournaments for you guys. I mean, if you are an esports aspirant, you need not worry at all. Got tournaments throughout, and with a lot of big prize pools. I mean, take a look at it, $30,000. That is something which was the winner's prize money. $10,000 was given to the winner of the league stages in PMPL. So you can understand the degree of this tournament as to how big it has actually become.
Definitely, it has become really big and really important in the terms of the money as well. Like for for an upcoming organization, for all these underdog players, if you imagine one of the new faces coming in from the region getting those $10,000, it's a pretty hefty start for your career as well, for your esports career, and that is exactly what these teams are eyeing right now. But this is a team talking about that 1952. It was not known to a lot of audience before the first segment of the campus championship, and they won it. Now they're here, they're playing, and let's see if some other new team can rise up from the tournament that we're witnessing right now here.
All right. Okay. So 952 are up to a conversation with each other, and Tawfiq, being the bully, just comes in, punches his teammate out from that little shed that they have. But too early to be, holding this position, to be honest,
Yeah.
right now, because considering we do not yet know where the circle is going to head down to, and being so much in the open right from the first circle is something that you would want to avoid for yourself. But then again, it's, this is the team that has qualified for
Yeah.
the PMPL Championship final. So who are we to question them, Trooper?
And look at that, one more player going down to his own nade. That is AGT9 Jerry now.
Okay,
And
not expected though.
coming back to 1952, they are new to the scene. They are like pretty fresh faces from this region, and they've made a good mark for themselves. As you mentioned, they're pretty soon going to be the part of that PMP, the South Asia finals. So let's see how this team is going to go about, because for now, I believe they've held back a lot of cards. This could have been a good practice spot for these teams, and that is exactly not how they have taken it. They've sort of held up their cards behind and just made sure that they are in the top half of the chart. And at this stage, I would say that's a pretty decent bet, because you would not like a lot of homework to be done upon you as well. So maybe that is also a thing that is playing in the back of their minds.
Yeah, I guess so. I think that might just be the case over here. ABCNBSQ have also pretty much been silent this time, and a lot of teams, this is kind of their time where they got that experience, right, as to how competitive can lobbies be in actual tournaments. Because most of these players, I believe they play a lot of scrims, they play a lot of customs, go against each other, TDM battles, everything. But then that you don't have anything to lose, right?
Yeah.
There you just play, you die, all right, skip, next custom, next scrimmage. So that is what happens. But in actual tournaments, when you have that pressure, that one small mistake can not just cost only your life, but you losing and getting thrown out of the tournament. So that sort of makes things even more difficult. The shots that you would take on your usual day, you tend to start missing them. You tend to, your aims start to kind of shiver. But we do have a fight. I'm breaking down a Mexus. This is the boys from 71. Well, they started the game off with a few kills. Now they are continuing that sort of performance.
That's a pretty nice thing to do. Like when you are like chasing a target, when you want to get into the top eight. So 71 Esports is making a pretty good statement out here. They won a fight in Rozhok. Now they're moving towards Yasnaya Poliana, and they have found some enemies in the vicinity, and they are trying to capitalize over them. This is, I believe, X Army that is right now in front of them. So let's see how they are going to deal with this situation. But coming back to the topic, like about the nerves, how they are going to play a part in the career of these players that are going to go out of here. So one thing I would like to say at this point is like, it's not necessary that you need to blame your teammates, right, at every single step of your failure. And at the end of the tournament, don't go for like you need a new squad or something. Like stick to your squad, and that is what the best teams of the world have been doing. And you just need to learn from your mistakes and grow your game.
Hmm. Yeah, of course. The mistakes are something that happens once. You kind of train and you learn and you get better. Keep grinding is what we've been always encouraging all these players. And teams like TRZ have done that. Now they're reaping the fruits of their labor, right? So the nade's being tossed by STFU, and wow. Well, is it gonna connect? I really like the basics on this lad. He knows that when you're throwing a nade, try to switch into FPP. Gives you that extra bit of coverage. You know exactly where your nade is going. So yeah, helps you out a lot.
Definitely, definitely. They are trying their best. And look at that. Almost he got a knock there before the player could go behind that cover. So 71 Esports, they are trying their best. This is a good spot that they have picked up for themselves in this zone right now. This bridge is a very crucial zone, bridge connecting over the cities of Severny and Yasnaya Poliana. And you can see already a lot of teams that are there in the nearby vicinity. So this is a good spot from where they can get some crucial points that they are looking out for.
So 71 Esports, well, they do have all four of their players alive.
Yep.
That's a nice knock coming in from counter, just getting up, a crisp shot, and Vortex goes falling down. But I mean, this is a completely different game. I feel like I'm in a different lobby because right from the first, like I think you were on the sidelines, in fact, the green room. Nothing was happening. 13
Yep.
minutes gone, not a noise, not even a needle dropping down. That was the kind of a pitch silence we had. And over here, look at all these teams. Now this is where they realize they've got nothing to lose. But AGT9, they need to collect as many points as they can, and a barn with a beautiful two frags out there securing those essential kills. And there you go, the final kill
Oh.
also being confirmed, and Team SR wiped out.
Yep. Not only the teams, I believe the dreams are also wiped out here. But something I'd like to bring your attention to, Fixers. This has been the play style for all the matches of Group C. Like there was no TRZ Esports in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game, and then suddenly out of somewhere, all the four or the three players would come from TRZ Esports. The zone would start moving towards them. They would get good spots to play with, and they would win the match. And this is exactly what is happening once again in the last game as well. No signs of TRZ Esports anywhere up to this point in the first 14-15 minutes. We just saw them take a boat to Primoz at that point, and since then, no signs of them at all.
So I mean, totally agree with you. The way things are happening, and how fast actually things are happening over here. Now, AGT9. So 4 kills already for this team. and they are eyeing out for more. But 71 Esports, all right, so they're making a lot of noise, a lot of fights is being taken by them. But look at this shift, teams like 1952, they're playing the edges of the lake over there. Just have to see if they can make something out of it, because every single Yasnaya Circle Trooper, we have sort of seen it to go away from it.
Yeah.
And might as well be the case today.
No. Definitely, definitely, and that is the general trend that we witness. But as there's something, I'll look at that TRZ Esports coming from the southern side towards the city of Yasnaya Poliana. It's going to be a very interesting thing where this circle is going to shift, and by the looks of it, where 1952 is holding up right now, I think that is going to be a pretty crucial point. But I am very interested. Where is TRZ Esports going to go? Because the zone is going to go there eventually.
I think it might go, but like what I'm predicting, or what I would really want to see, is maybe an urban circle. I think
Oh.
I would want that to happen. Go inside Yasnaya, because it's been quite a while that we've witnessed such a zone. But one shot, I believe, has spotted out the players of 952. Punch, he's burning, but somehow still alive. Now Chisaf and Team KST, they've closed in right onto with the players of 71, but the lads are making their move, and this time making that long rotation. Atomic from the far off fray has managed to spot out the players of 952, but Rare FPS finally going down to the nade of Pro.
Yo, and this is a pretty big risk that I believe the players of 71 Esports and the IGL especially has taken, because the 4 zone is closing in now. They're going for this long rotation, and they're just hoping that they would find some little less resistance from the northern part of the circle. But that is not the case, because we know that 1952 is holding up a position. But meanwhile, inside these big buildings of Isnaya Poliana, Ninja is going for their next fight, and they have been here since the beginning inside Isnaya Poliana. But now TRZ official is also here. TRZ Esports, they are making some significant damage and regrouping themselves as well. Look at that. They are not allowing their teammates to go down that easily.
They certainly aren't, and TRZ, they are eyeing out for that one thing, that chicken dinner, to break the world record over here. TRZ, can they do that? And they've managed to already secure 2 kills. They look completely unfazed. I mean, the lads just trying to push in. Well, the players of Ninja, in fact Skull, he must be feeling the tremors as the players are slowly but surely closing on towards him. And it's just a matter of few seconds, he's gonna take it down. Look at them, the way these lads are pushing. Fearless, oh my goodness, how on earth did he get shot? And there you go, TRZ winning yet another fight. 4 kills to their name.
And taking his teammate down as well, but they have time to regroup. The circle has just started closing in, but on the lake side, towards the northern side, where the height of Stalber is like on the slopes, there are 2 different teams taking a fight. SuperNovas, they have had a pretty decent outing today. They are at the 8th spot, but that is not the spot a team wants to be. BNG is also on this pay. Both these teams have the same point fixes. They started this game with 56 points, and now they found themselves inside the game. So this is going to be a very tricky situation, because at the end of this game, the team in the top 8 is going to go ahead.
Yep. But a team like TRC don't care about that anymore, and this is the
Obviously.
moment of truth. There you go. I mean, as as much as I would have liked to be proven wrong, but indeed, not again. Again, Yasnaya Circle going up top, up north. This is where I really like the way the lads from 71 rotated. Right? They kind of knew. They've seen all the trends happening. It never stays in Yasnaya. That's for a fact.
Definitely. But who's going to stay in the top 8 fixes here? Because both these teams have a pretty decent 11-point lead over the rest of the half of the table. And right now they are fighting for that slot, like literally fighting for that slot. Whoever wins here get the maximum points and breaks the tie and moves ahead. That is going to be the situation.
So right now, Team SN. So holding on to the higher grounds. Can they get that? No. Can they just take that plunge? Can they? Can they? No. They're not engaging right now. Well, kind of taking a back step over here. 11 teams alive, 34 players still surviving. Sharon with that AUG getting that knock secured. But Itachi would want to stick that spray. Connects a few shots. Apart from that, nothing else.
Yep. For now, looks like both the teams have retreated and are not looking to engage with each other. But things are going to spice up pretty quickly out there because there's not a lot of space for them to play with. They are on the slopes. They are going to be exposed to each other quite easily there. So the smokes come in. That is exactly what I'm talking about. But shots coming in from the city of Yasnaya Polyana as well. It's not going to be easy to survive on those slopes because here you are okay, but you're getting spotted from the far away. And that is what the problem is right now for the players of PMG Esports. And look at that in the kill feed, players of ImmensityX going down, 1952 taking their fights, TRZ going down. So the dream is over, I believe, for the players of TRZ Esports. 1952 making sure they do not come out of Yasnaya Polyana and hold the chicken dinner against the name. But they are holding in the tie, I believe. 10 out of 7 is a pretty decent number.
Yeah, I mean, 7 getting out of 10, nice. But the world record is something that I would have, concerned myself with. But either ways, it's a huge feat to achieve for these lads, and they've done such a phenomenal job so far. That's just about it. Now SN Alpha trying to search for that player's body. Yes, does find Dr. Rifat and will get that kill confirmed. And well, SN, can they go off big? Cherry dropping those smokes, completely revealing his position. The moment the circle kind of shifts away or the circle starts shrinking in, the moment he goes out in the open, he's so done for.
Yeah, I like this. I like this. What is happening with SuperNovas? Right, they started this day at the 16th position fixes, and right now they are holding on to the 8th. So it's actually a lot of character test of character for these lads right now. Just 2 of them remaining. They're under a lot of pressure. They want to go through. They want to go through the next round. Finding BMG out there, and right now with this circle shift moving slightly towards the south, it's going to be difficult for both these teams. So these are the mini battles inside this big round of 64 that we are going to witness here. And let's see how in this group C we are going to shape the top 8 here.
Yeah, of course. SN have done a really good job, but 1952, this time they are going to be eyeing out on that chicken. But right in front of them stand the players of AGxT9. But before that, XPDS having that higher ground, nobody really thought that they would be spraying the shots like that. And they've managed to do that entry, just getting out of that buggy in the right nick of time. But are his legs visible over there?
I believe so. Yes, it were, but that advantage has not been taken. But Xperience being another team that is pretty close to that finishing line of that top 8 as well, they are also fancying their chances. And we are down to top 5. And if I'd like to believe 71 Esports, where are they? I believe they have been eliminated from the game. But BMG, they are still here, holding the high ground. Shingami getting an important knock over Xperience. He's hurt them just in time. Let's see how is Sharon going to use that AUG and resist this pressure coming in from the north.
We've got to see as SN, they are putting up quite a fight over there. And Alpha, he's been so phenomenal over here right now, getting those knocks. And yes, he is going to continue with that kind of an onslaught. Oh my goodness. Instant 2 kills over there. And wow, gotta give ups to this lad. The last final game. And what a way to be just roaring over here with the way he's just killing down players. 1952. Well, they somehow still survive with all 4 of their players standing. Can they get the chicken?
The hopes are still alive there for SuperNovas. Alpha keeping them alive. But 2 of the players of BMG quite close to him. It's going to seriously. It's a pretty difficult situation for Alpha, and he eventually goes down. This might just be the end of SuperNovas in this tournament because they started this game at the 8th position, but BMG was at the tie position with them. It's going to come down to the kill points, but we'll see about that later. But right now, 4 teams fighting here in the final circle, and 1952 being one of them. And Xperience are also doing a pretty decent outing, and let's see how much impact they can do on the overall standings.
Yep, that's what I'm really interested to see. Well, now things have kind of slowed down a bit, and I think it's for the greater good, right? The way the actions were panning out, it was so explosive. I mean, suddenly it feels like the lobby just got life within itself. And
Definitely.
well, Tofik secures that kill on towards Insane. Does have his crosshairs ready the moment the other player just peeks out or makes any kind of a movement that he should not. He will be punished for that. Now, Aban being the last player surviving, they've managed to get 10 kills, so that's really good. That's gonna definitely help them at least to secure that top 3 and maybe a possible top 2. Now Aban trying to get inside the zone. Tofik getting eliminated by Shinigami, but 1952 still surviving with 3 players.
By the looks of it, I think 1952, they were sort of playing for the chicken, but they have been seriously hurt here by the players. And look at that, Babun getting those knocks. Just the last player entry now remaining for 1952. And even if he goes down, they have been wiped instantly there. So a big finish coming in, but nothing to worry about because they are through to the next round for now. But this is going to seriously improve the chances of XPDS. They need a big game, but also BMG is making sure they were in the 9th position at the start of this game. They are holding on still in the final circle. The top 3 spot, that is what we talked about, that they should eye, and exactly what that they are doing. But XPDS goes out of the game. BMG Shingami making sure he used that height to the perfect advantage situation there.
Right now, Aban, despite that fact, he's made it into the top 2 and might possibly get the chicken if he kind of plays the cards right. So that's a beautiful nade, and well, trying to get flushed out of the molly. That was all he could do. But what a valiant effort by AGT9. But it's the boys from BMG getting this one home. Wow, Trooper, what an end the day.
Yep. And what a time to get that chicken dinner when you are at the when you started the game at the 9th spot. That means they were having serious chances to get inside the top 8, and they delivered at the right moment, at the precise moment in the final game itself with a chicken dinner. So BMG Esports, a big congratulations for them because they are definitely through the line. But have Experience done enough? That is going to be my question now.
I think only time is gonna tell. I mean, I've got my fingers crossed as to which are those 8 teams who's gonna qualify. But eventually, the tell-to-tell story over here, what we really had thoughts before getting into the match, into this one, was whether or not are we gonna see a world record being broken. But sort of has been tied. But still, on the upper side, considering the win rate, I think that has to be the best stat ever by any team in a competitive tournament, in a competitive official tournament. Even in those in the third party tournaments that we have, I don't think any team could have afforded us such a strat.
Because this is an underdog tournament, right? And what better than shining your name with 7 chicken dinners out of 10 games? So this is the sort of team we were looking for, right? We were talking about in the round of 128 as well, that this is an opportunity for all these teams to outshine and make a name. What better can you do if you are going to get 7 chickens out of 10? And that is an amazing thing to pull off. And I believe the score that they are going to set for 10 matches, it's going to be really difficult for any other team ever to touch that mark. That is what I am feeling at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I think no doubts on that whatsoever. The way these lads have been performing, I think we're just gonna expect bigger things from them from here onwards. Now, if you talk about the overall standings, I'm pretty much sure, everyone knows who's gonna be on top. But likewise, we've been waiting for that 8th and 9th position scuffle, right? So AGT9 still winning in terms of the kills that they had, but Team BMG are the ones who are walking off with that chicken.
Definitely, and look at that, Experience also getting 12 points out of this game. I really feel for the team of SuperNovas, starting this day at the 16th position and then trying to get their way into the top 8, ending this game in the 5th spot. They've got 10 points here, but I just feel out they have missed out on the trick, and the first day not going in their favor has hurt them now here today.
So TRZ, despite the fact that they just have 1 position point, still managed to get 4 kills. But like you mentioned, disappointment for a lot of teams over there, that could not make it. But yeah, it's fine. Like me and Johnny have been discussing, we have been telling that to you. But as we take a gander at the Oppo F19 Pro moments right off the bat in this game today, in every single game today, it was so explosive towards the end. But this one was special because it was explosive throughout.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. We did have a small patch in the mid game where the teams were sort of silent, but towards the end, it was an amazing fights that we witnessed here, and it was a good thing to watch SuperNovas go against BMG, right? Because with the new update, the players don't exactly know which team you're fighting. But if they had gone through with that fight, SuperNovas, that is what they are going to look back and think. But for now, BMG, they made sure that they sealed the opportunity. And look at that overall ranking. But SuperNovas, look at that. They have also gone through 66 points for them. ABC making sure, but that big jump coming in from BMG. So few of the teams that were inside top 8 at the start of this game, they have missed out because of that performance coming in from these teams.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So many disappointments over here. This is not just that first one. It's alright. I mean, now things have turned down. XPDS, BFS, 71.
BFS. Yeah.
Everyone sort of just pushed over. Oh my god.
Wow. BFS Esports, they were looking so good before the start of this game. They were in the top 6 and they missed out. They are out of the tournament. This is going to hurt them really, really bad, but it really helped the chances of SuperNovas, to be really honest. And the way they have made this comeback, that is amazing. Amazing comeback coming in from this team. Starting the day at the 16th position, but making sure to stay inside the top 8 to go through the round of 64 here.
And I imagine this situation, right? Had they played that one game that they missed.
It's going to hurt them for a long time.
Am I putting salt on the wounds over there? I don't mean to, but this is what punctuality would have meant. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that was all about the matches we have had today. Hope you enjoyed them all. We will be going off for the night, and till then, you guys stay safe, take care, and be awesome.